There are moments in life that feel too profound to be mere coincidences, times when something deep within stirs, urging you to pay attention. You've experienced strange separations from people, constant opposition, or unexplainable moments of clarity and guidance. These are not random occurrences. They are signs of divine markers pointing to a greater calling on your life. Some people go through life without ever experiencing these signs, but for those chosen for an extraordinary purpose, they are undeniable. If you've noticed them, they are evidence of a divine anointing that sets you apart. Your journey is not like everyone else's because your destiny is different. In this video, we will uncover 5 mysterious signs that indicate you are dangerously anointed, chosen by God for something far greater than you may even realize. These signs are not just rare, they are profound, shaping your path and revealing a higher plan unfolding in your life. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something extraordinary, pay close attention. The signs you've encountered may be the confirmation you've been seeking. Sign number 1. Unexplainable isolation, a divine separation. There comes a point in life when you begin to feel an unexplainable distance growing between you and the people who once felt like home. Friends who were once constants in your life begin to drift away. Relationships that once provided comfort and stability start to feel strained, and in some cases they break apart completely. Even familiar places, your childhood home, your workplace, your social circles, start to feel different, as though you no longer belong. It's not just a phase, it's a shift that leaves you feeling like an outsider in your own world. At first, you may try to rationalize it. You wonder if you've done something wrong, if people are changing, or if life is simply pulling everyone in different directions. But deep down, there's a nagging feeling that something bigger is at play. This feeling of isolation is not a coincidence, it is a divine separation. When God anoints someone for a higher purpose, He often removes them from environments, relationships, and distractions that no longer serve their destiny. What feels like loneliness is, in reality, a season of preparation. God is setting you apart, not to punish you, but to refine you for what lies ahead. Many of the greatest figures in the Bible went through this same process. Moses spent years alone in the wilderness, before leading Israel to freedom. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers and thrown into prison before he was elevated to power. Even Jesus withdrew into solitude, spending 40 days in the desert before beginning his ministry. Isolation is often the training ground for the anointed, a sacred period where God strengthens your faith, sharpens your vision, and deepens your dependence on Him. This period of separation is not just about external relationships. It is also an internal transformation. God is removing not only people from your life, but also the versions of yourself that can't go where He is taking you. The old habits, the need for validation, the distractions, He is stripping them away so that you can step fully into the person He created you to be. It is in the quiet, when the noise of the world fades, that you begin to hear God's voice more clearly. You start to understand His plan in ways you couldn't before. Though painful, this season of isolation is temporary. It is not meant to last forever, but to prepare you for the next chapter. When the time is right, God will bring the right people into your life, those who align with your purpose, who uplift and strengthen you, who walk with you in faith. Until then, embrace this sacred space. Use this time to heal, to grow, and to deepen your connection with God. Trust that He is not removing things from your life to harm you, but to position you for something far greater. Your isolation is not rejection, it is redirection. You are being set apart, not forgotten. And when the season shifts, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and fully prepared for the calling placed upon your life. Sign number 2. Constant opposition and unprovoked attacks. The weight of your calling. One of the most undeniable signs of divine anointing is the resistance that seems to follow you, even when you have done nothing to provoke it. You may notice that people misunderstand you, criticize you, or even turn against you without cause. Relationships that once felt secure may suddenly become strained, and those who once supported you may now seem distant or even hostile. Sometimes the opposition comes in the form of jealousy, gossip, or betrayal from people you least expected. Other times it may appear as obstacles, setbacks, or an unrelenting series of challenges that make you question why things are so difficult. It can be disheartening to feel like no matter what you do, you are met with resistance at every turn. But this is not a coincidence. This is spiritual warfare. When God anoints someone for a great purpose, the enemy takes notice. The weight of your calling attracts opposition, not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are a threat to darkness. Your presence, your gifts, and your potential make others uncomfortable, even if they cannot fully understand why. Some will be drawn to your light while others will resist it, fearing what they do not understand. The enemy sees what you carry even when you do not, and will do everything possible to discourage, distract, and derail you before you fully step into your purpose. The greater the calling, the greater the battle. This is why many who are destined for extraordinary things experience extraordinary challenges. But opposition is not a sign of failure. It is confirmation that you are walking in the right direction. The enemy does not waste time attacking those who pose no threat. If you find yourself constantly facing resistance, it is because your purpose is powerful. This battle is not just about people turning against you. It is about the unseen spiritual forces working to shake your faith and cause you to doubt yourself. It may manifest as deep discouragement, moments of self-doubt, or overwhelming fatigue. The enemy's goal is to make you believe that you are not strong enough, not worthy enough, or not capable of fulfilling the calling on your life. However, opposition is also an opportunity. Every challenge, every betrayal, and every difficulty is refining you, making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Through resistance, God is building resilience in you. Instead of letting opposition shake you, let it remind you of who you are and who you are. Stay rooted in prayer, seek God's wisdom before responding to conflict, and protect your peace. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Some require you to rise above and trust that God will handle the rest. Surround yourself with those who uplift and encourage you, and most importantly, trust that every challenge you face is part of the process. You are not called to an ordinary life, and that means you will face extraordinary battles. But take heart, God is with you, strengthening you for the journey ahead. Sign number 3, unusual sensitivity to energy and environments. The gift of spiritual discernment. Have you ever stepped into a room and instantly felt the atmosphere shift, sensing an unspoken tension or an overwhelming peace before a single word was spoken? Do you find yourself deeply affected by the emotions of others, as if you can feel their joy, pain, or sorrow without them saying a word? This heightened sensitivity is not a coincidence. It is a divine gift, a form of spiritual discernment given to those who are called to a greater purpose. People who are anointed often possess an unusual awareness of the energy around them. They can sense when something is off, even if there is no visible reason for it. Certain places may bring them a deep sense of peace and clarity, while others may leave them feeling drained, uneasy, or spiritually burdened. This is because their spirit is attuned to the unseen, able to perceive spiritual realities beyond what the natural eye can detect. This sensitivity is a tool, given by God, to help them navigate life with wisdom, recognize hidden motives, and avoid situations that could be harmful to their calling. However, carrying this gift comes with challenges. Constantly absorbing the emotions and energy of others can be exhausting, leaving you feeling emotionally and spiritually depleted. Being able to sense unspoken truths can sometimes feel isolating, as though you are experiencing a reality that others do not understand. The weight of knowing things before they happen, feeling the burdens of those around you, or discerning deception can be overwhelming if not properly managed. This is why it is essential to stay spiritually grounded. To protect your peace, it is important to spend intentional time in prayer and meditation, asking God to guide and strengthen you. Visualizing a spiritual shield around yourself, filtering out negativity while allowing divine wisdom to flow, can help you maintain balance. Setting boundaries and learning when to step away from overwhelming situations is also crucial. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a divine compass, leading you toward truth, alignment, and purpose. Embrace it, nurture it, and use it to walk in wisdom. You were given this gift for a reason, and when used correctly, it can help you fulfill the extraordinary calling God has placed on your life. Sign number 4. Repeated signs and synchronicities, divine messages in plain sight. There are moments in life when reality seems to whisper, when ordinary events take on an unusual sense of meaning, as if the universe itself is trying to get your attention. You keep seeing the same numbers, 1111, 444, appearing on clocks, receipts, and license plates. Maybe you hear a particular phrase repeated by different people, or a song plays at the exact moment when you need encouragement. These are not coincidences. They are divine messages, subtle yet powerful signs meant to guide and reassure you. For those who are anointed, these synchronicities appear frequently, especially in times of uncertainty or transition. They are like spiritual breadcrumbs, leading you along the path that has been predestined for you. Sometimes they come as symbols: a feather appearing unexpectedly, a butterfly landing beside you in a moment of deep contemplation, or a stranger saying words that directly answer a question you've been silently asking God. Other times, they manifest as perfectly timed events, just when you are about to give up, an opportunity presents itself, or when you feel lost, an unexpected conversation provides the clarity you need. These moments are too precise to be random. They are divine alignments orchestrated by God. The challenge, however, is recognizing these signs for what they are. In the busyness of life, it is easy to dismiss them as mere chance. But when patterns begin to emerge, when the same number, word, or experience keeps appearing, it is important to pause and reflect. What is God trying to tell you? How does this sign connect to what you have been praying about or struggling with? Keeping a journal of these experiences can help you see the bigger picture, revealing the deeper message that God is trying to communicate. While these signs are powerful, they are not meant to replace faith, but to strengthen it. They serve as reminders that God is actively involved in your journey, guiding your steps even when you feel uncertain. Instead of searching for signs, seek God first, and the signs will naturally follow. Trust that every repeated number, every well-timed encounter, and every mysterious synchronicity is a divine reassurance that you are on the right path, walking in alignment with His perfect plan for your life. Sign number 5. Divine favor and unexplainable breakthroughs. Walking in God's power. The most undeniable sign of divine anointing is the presence of supernatural favor in your life. You've exhausted every option, tried everything in your power, and yet, just when you're about to give up, a door opens where there was none. The financial provision arrives at the last minute, an unexpected opportunity appears, or a problem that seemed impossible is resolved effortlessly. These are not coincidences. They are evidence of divine favor. For those who are anointed, divine favor follows them in ways that cannot be explained by logic or effort alone. Opportunities seem to find them, people are drawn to help them, and success comes in ways that others struggle to attain. This favor is not about luck. It is the hand of God moving behind the scenes, aligning circumstances for His purpose. Sometimes, it comes in grand gestures: a promotion you didn't apply for, a connection that accelerates your destiny, or a miraculous healing. Other times, it appears in quiet, subtle ways, meeting the right person at just the right time, stumbling upon the exact words of encouragement you needed, or finding a solution before you even knew you had a problem. However, divine favor is not just about receiving blessings. It comes with responsibility. When God grants favor, it is not meant to elevate you for personal gain, but to position you for impact. The resources, influence, and opportunities He gives you are tools to fulfill your calling, to serve others, and to glorify Him. Favor is a gift, but it is also a test. How you use it determines whether it continues to flow in your life. At times, it may feel like favor is delayed, as if you are waiting for a breakthrough that never comes. But God's timing is perfect, and what seems like a delay is often preparation. He is ensuring that when your moment arrives, you are ready to handle it. When favor does manifest, embrace it with gratitude, walk in it with humility, and use it wisely. It is a sign that God is not only with you but actively working on your behalf. Trust in His process, and know that every breakthrough is a step closer to the extraordinary purpose He has prepared for you. If these 5 signs resonate with you, take heart. You are not ordinary. You are anointed. Your journey may not always be easy, but it is leading you towards something extraordinary. Embrace the process. Trust in God's plan. And most importantly, never doubt the power of the calling on your life. Your anointing is not a burden. It is a divine assignment. Walk boldly in it. If this message speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more, and join this journey of divine alignment. The world needs your light. Let it shine. There are no coincidences in this life. If you're watching this right now, it's not by accident. Something greater than yourself has brought you to this exact moment. God has a message for you, one that will shift everything you thought you knew about your life, your purpose, and your destiny. Tonight is unlike any other night. This is not just another moment in time. It is a divine appointment, a pivotal moment in your journey. Everything you have gone through has prepared you for this very second. The struggles, the setbacks, the silent prayers whispered into the night, they have all led to this breakthrough. There is a powerful energy moving right now, orchestrated by the hand of God Himself. The universe is shifting, aligning, preparing to open doors you never imagined possible. But there's something you must do first. You must be ready. You must be awake. You must be willing to take the final step into the transformation waiting for you. Before we dive in, take a moment. Breathe. Feel the weight of this moment. Now, to signal your readiness to the divine forces moving in your favor, like and subscribe. Comment 99. This simple action tells the universe, I am ready to receive. When you take these steps, you are not just engaging with a video. You are activating the energy within you, opening yourself up to the miracles waiting to unfold. Stay with me until the end, because this message is for you. And if you truly are a chosen one, something deep inside you already knows it. There comes a time in every person's life when everything shifts, a moment so profound that it changes the course of destiny forever. That moment is here for you. This is not just another ordinary night. It is a divine appointment, a sacred opportunity for breakthrough and renewal. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary, a transformation so powerful that it will redefine your life, your purpose, and your future. The struggles you have faced, the battles you have fought, and the moments of doubt that once held you back have all been leading to this very moment. Can you feel it? The energy is shifting, aligning perfectly in your favor. Every delay, every challenge, every closed door was never a rejection. It was a redirection, a preparation for something far greater. Tonight marks the end of stagnation and the beginning of acceleration. You are stepping into a season where prayers turn into reality, where dreams that once seemed impossible begin to unfold right before your eyes. The weight you have carried, the burdens that have exhausted your spirit, are about to be lifted as divine intervention takes place. This is the moment when you rise above fear, above doubt, above every limitation that has tried to keep you from stepping into your highest calling. The universe has heard your silent prayers, seen your hidden struggles, and felt the intensity of your longing for change. And now, the response is here. Doors you never imagined would open are about to be unlocked. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach are now within your grasp. The right people, the right circumstances, and the divine timing of everything in your life are coming together in perfect harmony. You have been chosen for this transformation. It is not a coincidence that you are here, reading these words. Deep down, you already know this is your time. Something inside you has been stirring, whispering that you are meant for more, that the life you desire is not a distant dream, but a reality waiting to be claimed. Now is the time to step forward with unwavering faith, to release the fear, the hesitation, and the doubts that have kept you in the shadows for too long. Your breakthrough does not require perfection, only readiness. The world is waiting to see you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. Your transformation will not just be a change in circumstances, but a complete shift in your spirit, your confidence, and your vision for the future. Everything you have endured has shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and ready for the abundance that is about to flow into your life. So embrace this moment with open arms, because your transformation is here. The journey begins now, and the life you were always meant to live is unfolding before you. Everything in your life, every triumph, every challenge, every detour has led you to this very moment. You are not here by chance. You are not wandering without direction. You have been divinely guided, placed exactly where you need to be, preparing to step fully into the purpose for which you were created. There is a reason your heart has felt restless, searching for something greater. That feeling is not emptiness. It is a calling. It is the voice of God stirring within you, urging you to rise, to embrace the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. There is a divine blueprint for your life, a sacred plan designed with intention and love. Every delay, every closed door, and every moment of uncertainty was never meant to discourage you but to prepare you. The struggles that once felt like setbacks were actually setting you up for something greater. You were never being held back. You were being refined, strengthened, and molded into the person who is now ready to step into divine alignment. Your purpose has always been within you, waiting for the right moment to be activated. That moment is now. Look around you. Feel the shift happening in your spirit. The signs are everywhere. What once felt out of reach is now drawing closer. The dreams you once doubted are proving to be more than just wishes. They are divine visions placed in your heart by God Himself. And if He planted them within you, it means they are meant to come to life. You were never meant to live a life of limitation, fear, or uncertainty. You were created to walk in power, in confidence, and in purpose. The universe is now aligning in your favor, moving obstacles out of your way, connecting you with the right people, and opening doors that no one can shut. But here's the truth. This transformation requires you to step forward. You cannot wait on the sidelines, hoping things will change. You must claim it. You must believe it. You must walk boldly in the direction God is leading you. Divine purpose is not passive. It is active. It is a commitment to trust the process, to let go of fear, and to embrace the extraordinary path that is unfolding before you. This is your moment. You are no longer lost, no longer searching, no longer waiting for validation. You are aligned. The power within you is awakening, and the world is about to see you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. The time for hesitation is over. The time for doubt is gone. Stand tall, breathe deep, and embrace this truth. You are aligned with divine purpose, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. There is a profound shift happening in your life at this very moment. The dreams that once seemed distant, the prayers that felt unanswered, and the desires you have carried in your heart are no longer just possibilities. They are becoming reality. Manifestation is now yours. Everything you have been believing for, everything you have been working toward, is aligning with divine timing. The universe is responding to your energy, your faith, and your readiness to receive. The delay is over. The obstacles are being removed. What you have longed for is now within your reach. Manifestation is not just about wishing. It is about aligning your mind, spirit, and actions with the reality you want to create. It is about stepping boldly into the belief that you are deserving of the life you have envisioned. When you shift your mindset from doubt to faith, from fear to confidence, from lack to abundance, you activate a divine force that moves mountains on your behalf. What you speak, what you focus on, and what you expect all have the power to shape your future. And now, that power is fully awakened within you. Can you feel it? The energy surrounding you is changing. Doors that were once closed are opening effortlessly. Opportunities that once seemed impossible are making their way to you. The right people, the right circumstances, and the right moments are coming together in divine orchestration. This is not luck. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of manifestation in action. God's promise that what you seek with faith will come to pass. The visions placed in your heart were never random. They were divine assignments, waiting for you to step into them with boldness and belief. Now is the time to speak life over your dreams. Declare with unwavering certainty that success, love, health, and abundance are already yours. See it. Feel it. Walk as if it is already done. Because the moment you truly believe, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. The doubts that once held you back are dissolving. The fears that kept you stuck are fading away. You are stepping into a realm of unlimited possibilities where miracles are your new normal. The power to manifest is now fully in your hands. This is not a fleeting moment. This is a permanent transformation. The person you were before, full of hesitation and uncertainty, is gone. You are now a magnet for blessings, attracting abundance in every form. The life you desire is no longer a distant dream. It is unfolding before your very eyes. Trust it. Embrace it. Walk boldly into it. Manifestation is now yours, and nothing can stand in your way. You were never meant to struggle through life, merely surviving from one day to the next. You were created for more, for abundance, joy, and fulfillment in every aspect of your existence. Abundance is not reserved for a select few. It is not a matter of luck or chance. It is your birthright. You were designed to live in a state of overflowing blessings, where opportunities, success, love, and prosperity flow freely into your life. Everything you need to thrive has already been set in motion for you, waiting for you to step into it with confidence and faith. For too long, you may have believed that abundance was something you had to chase, something that always felt just out of reach. But the truth is, abundance has been pursuing you all along. The moment you shift your mindset from scarcity to gratitude, from fear to faith, you unlock the divine flow of prosperity that was meant for you all along. You do not have to earn it. You only have to receive it. The doors to financial breakthroughs, career success, meaningful relationships, and vibrant health are already open. You only need to walk through them. Abundance is not just about wealth. It is about richness in all areas of life. It is waking up every morning with a heart full of peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. It is attracting the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances effortlessly because you are in perfect alignment with your divine purpose. It is experiencing love, joy, and fulfillment beyond what you ever imagined. You were never meant to live in lack. You were meant to thrive. Right now, at this very moment, the universe is responding to your energy. The more you believe in your worthiness, the more you will see abundance flow into your life. It is not a question of whether abundance is possible for you. It is a question of whether you are ready to accept it. Let go of the limiting beliefs that tell you you're not enough. Release the doubts that whisper you're not worthy. Step boldly into the truth that you are deserving of every blessing that comes your way. The time for waiting is over. You are stepping into a season of overflow. Opportunities will chase you down. Financial breakthroughs will find you. Doors that were once closed will swing open effortlessly. Relationships will flourish. Your health will be restored. The success you once dreamed of will become your reality. You were not born for a life of struggle. You were born for abundance. And now, it is yours to claim. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that you are stepping into the life you were always meant to live. Abundance is your birthright, and nothing can take it away from you. As we close, I need you to understand one thing. This is not a passive moment. This is not a time to sit back and wait. This is your activation. This is your defining moment. If you are ready to step into the life God has prepared for you, claim it now. Declare it in the comments. Type, "I am ready," and seal this moment in faith. The universe has aligned. God has spoken. Now, the choice is yours. Are you ready to walk into your destiny? Because tonight, everything changes. You are here, at this precise moment, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. Every breath you've taken, every tear shed in quiet solitude, every whispered prayer in the dead of night has brought you to this sacred intersection. Right now, heaven itself is holding its breath because the shift you've been longing for, the spiritual awakening you've been silently yearning for, is no longer distant. It's here. It's now. This isn't merely another message. This is your divine appointment. Can you feel it? A stirring deep within your soul, a sensation of something powerful aligning, quietly rearranging your life from the unseen realm. You were never created for mediocrity. You've been handpicked by God Himself for a calling greater than you've ever imagined. As Scripture beautifully affirms in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Today, you're standing at the threshold of an encounter destined to transform your life. Something extraordinary is about to unfold in your life, something more powerful and beautiful than you've ever imagined. You've sensed it in the quiet whispers of your soul, felt it as a gentle stirring in moments of solitude, a divine restlessness guiding you towards something greater. This is not mere imagination or coincidence. It is heaven moving on your behalf, aligning unseen forces, meticulously arranging circumstances for a divine encounter. Every challenge you faced, every moment of uncertainty, every whispered prayer in the dark was leading you here, preparing you for this spiritual awakening that transcends anything you've previously experienced. It's deeper than physical change. It's a profound transformation at the very core of your being, an elevation into the spiritual reality you've always felt, but have yet to fully embrace. As the Scripture assures, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" Doors once closed are opening, barriers are being removed, and the life you once dreamed about is now within reach. You may feel uncertain or unprepared, yet know this: God never calls those who are already perfect. He perfects those He calls. Trust this divine timing, embrace this shift with courage, and step forward boldly into your calling. The moment is here, and your soul knows it. You are ready, chosen, and divinely equipped. Embrace this extraordinary shift, for it will transform your life and ripple outward, impacting the lives of many others. Throughout biblical history, God has consistently chosen ordinary people, elevating them from humble beginnings into extraordinary destinies, proving that divine calling transcends human limitations. Consider Moses, who began as a humble shepherd tending flocks in the solitude of the desert. Moses carried deep insecurities and doubts, feeling unworthy and inadequate when confronted by the magnitude of God's mission. Yet, in the midst of his uncertainty, God appeared to him in a burning bush and called him from obscurity to confront Pharaoh, ultimately liberating an entire nation from bondage. Similarly, Esther was an ordinary orphan girl who unexpectedly found herself crowned queen, elevated by divine timing to a position of immense influence. Initially, she wrestled internally with fear and hesitation, questioning her ability to face the challenge ahead. Still, when her divine moment presented itself, she courageously stepped forward, risking everything to save her people from annihilation. And who could forget David, the forgotten shepherd boy overlooked by everyone, including his own family? Despite being an unlikely candidate for greatness, God saw something extraordinary within David, a heart capable of leadership, bravery, and profound faith. When his divine appointment arrived, David didn't hesitate. He embraced his anointing, stepping into his destiny with boldness, courage, and unwavering faith. Each of these biblical figures demonstrates the powerful truth that God does not choose those who are already perfect. He chooses ordinary, uncertain individuals and equips them as they move forward in faith. Today, just like Moses, Esther, and David, you may feel uncertain, unprepared, or even unworthy. Yet, remember that your feelings do not define your divine calling. When your divine moment arrives, step boldly into faith, knowing God will provide everything you need to fulfill the extraordinary purpose He has uniquely designed for you. When God prepares you for greater things, the signs are unmistakable and profound. You may experience an inner restlessness, a deep and persistent sense that your current circumstances no longer fulfill you. What once brought comfort and security now feels inadequate, as if your soul is quietly urging you towards something more significant. This dissatisfaction is not simply boredom or anxiety. It is the gentle yet firm nudging of the Holy Spirit, inviting you to step beyond the familiar into a greater spiritual calling. Alongside this restlessness, your intuition becomes sharper and more refined, allowing you to sense God's guidance more clearly. Choices that once seemed improbable or even uncomfortable now resonate deeply within your spirit, nudging you toward a divine path you've never considered before. This heightened intuition is God's voice whispering directly to your heart, steering you toward alignment with His perfect purpose. Your life may also experience shifts externally, relationships, routines, or even environments that previously felt essential begin to fade or lose significance. This detachment isn't random or accidental. It's intentional. God is gently removing distractions and creating space for the incredible blessings He's about to release. It might feel unsettling at first, even painful, but trust that this pruning is divine preparation. God is meticulously aligning every detail of your life, positioning you exactly where you need to be. You are being called from the ordinary into the extraordinary, a life not defined by comfort, but by courageous faith. Embrace this shift, for it is guiding you toward the destiny you've always carried within you. In moments of divine calling, fear often rises, whispering doubts and insecurities, trying desperately to convince you that you're unprepared or unworthy. Yet these feelings of fear and uncertainty are not signs urging you to retreat. Rather, they're evidence that you're standing at the threshold of your breakthrough. Scripture reassures us beautifully, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. When fear attempts to hold you back, remember that God's divine power within you is far greater than the doubts whispering in your mind. This moment of hesitation, this inner battle, is exactly where true courage is born. Throughout biblical history, God never called individuals who felt ready. Instead, He chose ordinary men and women who doubted their abilities yet stepped forward in faith. When Moses stood trembling before Pharaoh, when Esther bravely faced potential death, and when young David confronted Goliath, none were without fear. Yet each overcame their uncertainty by trusting God's promise, and their faith changed history forever. Today you stand in a similar position, right on the edge of divine purpose. Embrace your fears as signs that you are stepping into greatness, equipped by God's power and love. Remain firm, knowing you're rooted deeply in His strength. The breakthrough you've prayed for, dreamed about, and longed to see is now within reach. Walk forward boldly, knowing that you have been divinely empowered to step beyond fear into a destiny greater than you've ever imagined. A profound part of your spiritual awakening is the sacred process of divine detachment, a necessary release of the old to embrace the extraordinary new beginning God has prepared for you. This sacred detachment isn't about loss, but rather about creating space for what God desires to bring into your life. You may notice a subtle distancing from things that once defined you, relationships, careers, habits, even environments that now feel misaligned with your spirit. At first, this might feel uncomfortable or even painful, like shedding layers of a familiar identity. But the Scripture gently reassures us Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. As you gracefully let go, remember to release these things not with bitterness or regret, but with profound gratitude. Everything you've experienced until now served its divine purpose, shaping you, preparing you precisely for this transformative season. The act of letting go is not loss, it is freedom. By releasing what no longer serves your highest good, you create sacred space within your heart for God to plant something far more extraordinary. Embrace this divine detachment as a beautiful act of trust, knowing with certainty that the path ahead holds blessings greater than you've ever envisioned. As you step forward, expect new clarity, deeper joy, and divine opportunities crafted specifically for you. Your future will unfold in ways more magnificent than you ever imagined, affirming that God's new thing surpasses all you leave behind. God's calling often comes without clear directions or an obvious path. Just as Abraham was asked to leave everything familiar and journey into the unknown armed only with faith and a divine promise, you too are being summoned to take courageous steps forward, even when the destination isn't fully revealed. Abraham didn't have a map, timelines, or guarantees, yet he stepped out boldly, trusting completely in the one who had called him. Your life, like Abraham's, is guided by that same powerful unseen hand. You may not see the full picture or know every detail ahead, but you can trust that each step is divinely orchestrated, aligned perfectly with God's ultimate plan for your life. Proverbs 3:5-6 reassures you beautifully, saying, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Stepping forward into uncertainty can feel intimidating, even overwhelming. Yet courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing faith in the presence of doubt, confidence in the midst of uncertainty. Every step forward, taken courageously, moves you closer to a destiny greater than you've imagined. Like Abraham, your willingness to step forward in faith is precisely what positions you for miracles, breakthroughs, and divine revelations. So embrace the unknown not with fear, but with anticipation. Remember, it's not your perfection that God seeks. It's your courage, your trust, your bold obedience. Take that first step today, knowing you are guided, protected, and prepared to walk boldly into your divine purpose. Right now, you may sense something profound stirring within you, an urgency that is neither anxiety nor impatience, but rather divine momentum moving you forward. This isn't just restlessness. It's heaven's way of accelerating your journey, aligning your life swiftly and perfectly the moment you fully embrace your calling. The assignment placed upon your life is significant, more powerful than you've realized, not only for your own transformation, but also for the countless lives your obedience will touch and inspire. Your purpose is much larger than personal growth alone. It's a divine ripple effect intended to change the world around you. Every step you take forward in faith ignites a chain reaction, impacting others in ways you may never fully comprehend. As you courageously say yes to your calling, barriers fall, doors previously locked swing wide open, and clarity emerges in areas previously clouded by uncertainty. The divine momentum you feel is not rushing or pushing. Rather, it is guiding, empowering, and confirming that now is your time. Like a powerful current beneath the surface, God's grace is gently yet unmistakably propelling you toward your destiny. Trust this divine alignment. Trust that your journey is divinely protected, perfectly orchestrated, and infinitely purposeful. You're stepping into a higher existence, not merely for personal fulfillment, but to become a source of hope, inspiration, and healing for others. Embrace this sacred shift confidently, knowing you were chosen precisely for this extraordinary moment. Today, you're standing at a sacred crossroads. The waiting season has ended. Your divine encounter is imminent. You've been refined through trials, shaped through challenges, prepared meticulously for this moment. Now, will you step forward? Let's subscribe, share, and sow into this mission. Because you are not just a breadwinner. You are a history maker. Declare boldly, I am ready, embracing the sacred calling placed uniquely on your life. Type 777 in the comments as your powerful declaration of faith, a symbolic act affirming your readiness to step into your divine destiny. The world is waiting for the unique light you carry. Heaven itself is leaning in, cheering you on, celebrating your brave step into the extraordinary destiny prepared for you. They never saw it coming. They laughed when you struggled. They doubted you when you tried. They mocked you when you failed. And now they're choking on their own arrogance, watching you walk away as their world crumbles. This isn't just an exit, it's a reckoning. They never thought you'd break free. They believed they had you trapped, locked inside their twisted little game. You were their convenience, their safety net, their endless source of energy. They never realized the power you held, the strength you concealed beneath your silence. Because the chosen ones, we don't just leave. We erase our presence so completely that they have no choice but to face the cold, bitter truth. Without us, they are nothing. They'll call it dramatic. They'll pretend to be shocked. They'll whisper about how you changed, how you turned cold. But the truth, you didn't change. You woke up. You realized that staying wasn't loyalty, it was a slow death, and survival meant choosing yourself over the ones who only loved you when they could use you. Here's the ugly truth. Most people don't miss you. They miss what you did for them. It's not love they're grieving. It's their loss of control. The comfort you once gave them is gone, and now they're left with the emptiness they tried to bury beneath your sacrifice. But the best part? You didn't leave with anger. You didn't beg. You didn't scream. You just walked out. And that's what haunts them the most. Because silence is the loudest goodbye, and indifference is the most brutal revenge. This isn't just about walking away. This is about reclaiming your power. The power they pretended you didn't have. The power they tried to drain from you. But here's what they never understood. A chosen one's power doesn't fade. It evolves. They're stuck in the ruins of their own delusion, while you rise. And to you, the one who finally walked away, the one who refused to be caged, this is your moment. If you've been here from the start or just found your way into this space, know this. You are not alone. This is where the ones who broke free come together. So if you're ready to stand firm in your decision, if you're ready to never look back and to own the power they never wanted you to realize, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments to mark the moment you chose yourself over them. And now, let's break it down, step by step. Because trust me, if you're truly one of the chosen ones, you'll feel it. The pull, the truth, the fire. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll never question your decision again. Number 1. You were there but never seen. They didn't lose you. They lost the privilege of your presence. And now, all they have left is the echo of what they never appreciated. They sit in disbelief, wondering how you could walk away so easily. But the truth is, you were already gone long before you left. You had been fading for a long time, slipping away in quiet moments, in forced smiles, in sighs that went unnoticed. You were there, but never truly seen. You existed in the background, a steady presence they relied on but never acknowledged. They mistook your silence for submission, your patience for acceptance, your endurance for an obligation to stay. You were expected to be there, to give, to sacrifice, to bend, because that's what you always did. They never questioned your presence because they assumed it was permanent. But what they failed to realize is that no one stays where they are invisible forever. Every moment they overlooked you, every time they dismissed your needs, Every instance where they made you feel small. Those were the cracks forming in the foundation. And by the time they noticed, it was too late. You had already withdrawn, your heart had already left, and when you finally walked away, it wasn't an impulsive decision, it was inevitable. Now, they sit in the emptiness they created, forced to confront the truth they never wanted to face. You weren't a convenience. You weren't an afterthought. You were the light they took for granted. And now that you're gone, they are left with nothing but the cold reality of what they lost. And this time, you're not coming back. Number 2, they drained your light, then cried in the darkness. They thought your light was infinite, like the sun always there, always shining, always giving without question. They took from you endlessly, basking in your warmth, feeding off your energy, using your strength to hold themselves together. You were the fire that kept them warm, the steady glow that lit their path, and they never once stopped to wonder what would happen if you had nothing left to give. They assumed you would always be there, strong and unwavering, because that's who you were, the one who carried the weight, the one who solved the problems, the one who made life easier. They never noticed when you started to dim. They were too busy enjoying your light, too consumed with their own comfort, to see that the fire inside you was flickering, that the exhaustion was creeping in, that you were running on empty. And then, one day, the light went out. Not with a dramatic explosion, not with a fiery storm, but with quiet finality. You had given all you had, and there was nothing left. And suddenly, they were left in the darkness, lost and panicked, struggling to navigate a world without your warmth. They didn't miss you, they missed what you did for them. They missed the way you softened their chaos, the way you carried what they refused to hold, the way you made everything easier. But here's the painful truth. Light is not free. It needs care, respect, and reciprocity. And when those things are missing, even the brightest flame will burn out. Now they sit in the cold, desperate for the glow they once took for granted. But you're gone, and this time they'll have to learn to survive the darkness on their own. Number 3. Shattering the illusion. Escaping the cage they built for you. They didn't fear losing you. They feared you, realizing you never needed them in the first place. The cage they built around you was never made of bars. It was woven from pretty words, love, loyalty, duty, wrapped in the illusion of safety. They made it seem like protection, like something built to keep you safe. But the truth, it was never about your safety. It was about keeping you small. They needed you predictable, manageable, easy to control, a piece that fit neatly into their carefully crafted puzzle, never disrupting their world. You weren't supposed to think beyond the walls they placed around you. You weren't supposed to question the limits they set, but you did. At first, it was just a feeling, a tightness in your chest, a whisper in the back of your mind telling you something wasn't right. You ignored it, convincing yourself this was just how things were. Maybe if you shrank yourself just a little more, if you became just a little quieter, you could make it work. But then, something shifted. Maybe it was a single moment of clarity. Maybe it was 1,000 little moments of dismissal, disrespect, and being unseen. But suddenly, the cage wasn't invisible anymore. You saw it for what it was, a prison disguised as a home. And once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. So, you started pushing, testing the walls, reclaiming space, becoming who you were always meant to be. And that's when the panic set in. They saw you changing, growing, refusing to be contained, and they hated it. Not because they loved you, but because they loved controlling you. Now they call you selfish, ungrateful, even cruel. But let's be clear, you didn't leave them. You left the version of yourself that fit inside their cage. You left the silence, the smallness, the endless need for their approval. And the final bitter truth? They can't follow you. They were never willing to grow, never willing to break their own chains. So now all they can do is watch as you rise, knowing that they never had the power. You were just waiting to take it back. Number 4. How walking away took their power. Their power over you was never real. It was an illusion. And the moment you walked away, you shattered it. For so long, they played their game well, wrapping their control in pretty words: concern, loyalty, love. But make no mistake, it was never love. It was power disguised as care. Every decision you made was quietly influenced. Every boundary you set was blurred just enough to keep you trapped. And every time you doubted them, they fed you just enough validation to keep you coming back. They believed they had you locked in, convinced that you would always seek their approval, that their opinions could shape your choices, that you needed them. That belief was their safety net, their illusion of power. But the moment you walked away, you ripped it to shreds. They weren't prepared for this. They thought guilt, obligation, and the fear they planted in you would keep you bound to them forever. They miscalculated. They underestimated you. Because the moment you realized that their power only existed as long as you allowed it, it was over. You didn't leave in anger. You didn't leave for revenge. You left because you outgrew the lies. You saw through the manipulation, the guilt trips, the mind games. You stopped bending, stopped shrinking, stopped second-guessing yourself just to fit into their world. You reclaimed yourself. And that was the most dangerous thing you could have done in their eyes. Now they are scrambling, lost in a world where you no longer play by their rules. They sit in disbelief, asking themselves how this happened. But the answer is simple. Their power was never real. It only worked because you let it. And now that you're gone, their empire of control has collapsed into nothing. They built their strength on the illusion that you would never leave. And you just proved them wrong. Number 5. The loss that leaves scars when nothing can replace you. Some losses are temporary, but others leave scars so deep that nothing ever grows there again. Your absence isn't just noticed, it's felt. When you left, it wasn't just a goodbye. It was a rupture, a tear in the fabric of their world. The kind of absence that doesn't fade with time. It lingers, it echoes, it haunts. They thought they could move on, replace you, patch up the gap with someone new. But some spaces can't be filled. You weren't just another person in their life. You were the glue that held everything together, the steady force that kept things from falling apart, the one who made sense of their chaos, who brought light into their dull existence. You were the quit foundation, the overlooked constant, and now that you're gone, that foundation is gone too. They never saw you that way before. You were just there, like air, unnoticed until it's missing, like gravity, never questioned until the fall. They assumed you'd always be around, that no matter how much they ignored you, used you, overlooked you, you'd still show up, still pour into them, still hold everything together. But now they're choking on the emptiness. Your absence is loud. It rings in every awkward silence, in every mistake they can't fix, in every hollow moment where something just feels wrong. They try to drown it out, to cover it up with distractions, with substitutes, with empty reassurances that they'll be fine. But they won't. Because deep down they know the truth. They lost something irreplaceable. They don't just miss you. They miss the version of their life that worked because of you. And now, they're left with nothing but the cold realization that they had something extraordinary, and they ruined it. They thought life would go on seamlessly, that someone else could take your place. But what they're realizing slowly, painfully, is that your absence isn't just a gap. It's a wound, one that won't heal, one they can't ignore, one they'll be forced to live with day after day, as a reminder of what they lost when they let you go. Number 6. They fed off your strength. Now they're starving. They never truly loved you. They loved the way you held their world together while yours was quietly falling apart. They fed off your resilience as if it were endless, as if you were some unshakable force placed in their life to absorb every storm they refused to face. When their lives spiraled, they ran to you. When their emotions crashed, they leaned on you. When everything was chaos, they turned to you to fix it. You were their foundation, their shelter, their quiet savior. But they never stopped to ask who was holding you up. You made it look effortless, didn't you? You carried their burdens with a calm face, swallowed your struggles in silence, and kept everything running smoothly, no matter how much it drained you. And because you never broke, they assumed you never would. That was their mistake. They mistook your endurance for duty, your patience for permission. They believed your strength was something they could use rather than something you needed to protect. But resilience isn't infinite. It isn't a well that never runs dry. You gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left. And then, you finally walked away. You finally chose yourself over them. And in that moment, they didn't just lose a person, they lost their safety net. Now, the cracks are showing. The weight of their dysfunction, once hidden beneath your quiet sacrifices, is exposed. The same people who dismissed your struggles are now gasping for air, drowning in the very chaos you once managed for them. They thought they could depend on you forever, that you would always be there no matter how little they gave in return. They never imagined a world where they would have to stand on their own. But now, they have no choice. For the first time, they are forced to deal with the wreckage, the mess you shielded them from for far too long. Let them panic. Let them struggle. Because now, they're seeing what life looks like without the one person who held it all together. And this time, you're not coming back to save them. Number 7. They can imitate you, but they can't replace you. They thought they could replace you, that someone else could step in, fill the space you left, and life would go on as if you were never there. To them, your presence was just another role to be played, another script to be followed. But they were wrong. Dead wrong. Because when you left, you didn't just take your body, you took the one thing they could never recreate, your authenticity. They can try to mimic your words, repeat your actions, even attach themselves to someone who vaguely resembles you. But they're learning the hard way that authenticity isn't something you can fake, rent, or steal. It's either in you or it's not. And that's where they're drowning. They built their world on illusions, on pretending, on pleasing, on bending to fit whatever mold made them feel accepted. But you were different. You spoke what you meant and meant what you spoke. You saw what others ignored. You refused to be anything but yourself. That scared them. That challenged them. And instead of rising to meet you, they chose to take from you. Now the cracks in their world are showing. The forced laughter, the shallow conversations, the empty gestures, it's all hollow. No matter how hard they try, they can't recreate what made you special. Because what you brought wasn't just energy, it was depth. And that can't be copied. Now they're scrambling, filling their time with distractions, with stand-ins, with anything that numbs the realization creeping into their minds. You were one of one. The connection you gave, the presence you carried, the fire in your words, it wasn't just valuable. It was irreplaceable. And the worst part? They know it. They might act unbothered, might surround themselves with noise to drown out the silence your absence left behind. But deep down, they feel it. They feel the void where your authenticity used to be, the raw, unfiltered realness that made everything around you matter. And no matter how much they pretend, that truth will haunt them. Because at the end of the day, they didn't just lose a person. They lost the only real thing they had. Number 8. Your absence is their mirror, and they can't look away. The cruelest truth isn't being abandoned. It's realizing you were the reason someone left. Your walking away wasn't just a loss to them. It was a brutal awakening. They thought they could handle life without you. But the moment you left, everything changed. Not just because you were gone, but because your absence held up a mirror they were never ready to face. They always saw you as the one who would stay, the one who would clean up their messes, smooth over their mistakes, and hold their fragile world together while they took you for granted. But the second you walked away, they were left staring at the cracks they ignored for so long, the ones you had been holding together. They leaned on your strength so they wouldn't have to build their own. They used your wisdom to cover up their poor decisions. They relied on your kindness to excuse their selfishness. As long as you were there, they could deflect, distract, and pretend. But now the silence screams. Now the empty space exposes everything. Without you, the truth is undeniable. Your departure forced them to ask the questions they were never ready to face. Why didn't I appreciate them when I had the chance? Why did I push them so far that they had no choice but to leave? But the hardest question of all, what does it say about me that someone so loyal, so giving, so rare decided I wasn't worth staying for? That thought is poison, because it's one thing to be abandoned. It's another to realize that you earned it. You were their shield, the buffer between them and their own flaws. And now, with no one left to cover their mistakes, their reflection is unforgiving. The toxic cycles they thought they could run forever are now laid bare. The manipulation they used to control you? Useless. The illusion of power they held over you? Gone. And the worst part? It's too late to fix any of it. They lost the best thing they had, and now, every single day, they are haunted by one unshakable truth. They were the reason you left. Number 9. They gambled on your guilt and lost everything. The moment you stopped feeling guilty for choosing yourself was the moment they lost their last weapon against you. They thought they had you locked in not by force, not by words, but by guilt. They built their control around the belief that you would always feel obligated to stay, to keep giving, to keep sacrificing even at your own expense. They counted on the idea that no matter how much they drained you, you'd never have the heart to leave. And for a long time, their plan worked. The emotional weight they placed on your shoulders was never loud or obvious. It was quiet, calculated, a contract you never signed but were always expected to uphold. They made you feel like walking away was selfish, like choosing yourself was a betrayal. Every time you considered leaving, they fed you the same poison. After all I've done for you, you wouldn't just leave me like that. I thought you cared. And for a while, you believed it. You second-guessed yourself. You stayed when you should have left. You gave when you had nothing left. You let their expectations dictate your life because they convinced you that love, friendship, or loyalty meant putting yourself last. But then something shifted, a quiet moment of clarity, a realization so sharp it cut through all the noise. You saw the game for what it was. The guilt they used against you was nothing more than a leash, a tool to keep you small, to keep you available, to keep you under control. And the moment you understood that, everything changed. You left. No hesitation, no looking back, no apologies. And that broke them. Not just because you were gone, but because they lost the grip they thought they had on you. They never expected you to walk away without guilt eating you alive. They never thought you'd wake up and realize that loyalty without reciprocity is nothing more than self-destruction. Now they sit there, replaying it over and over, trying to make sense of how you slipped through their fingers. But they fail to see the truth: they never had you in the first place. They only had your guilt. Number 10. You were their comfort. Now you're their wake-up call. Some lessons are learned in whispers, others in the deafening silence of someone who's never coming back. They thought they had time to push you aside, time to take you for granted, time to play their mind games and assume you'd always be there to clean up their mess. But time just ran out. Your departure wasn't just a goodbye. It was a siren blasting through their delusions, a wrecking ball slamming into their false sense of security. They never imagined a world where you weren't waiting in the background, always ready to forgive, always willing to sacrifice. And now they're drowning in the consequences of their own arrogance. Every misstep they made, every choice they neglected, every moment they ignored your worth, it all comes crashing down on them. They're waking up, but it's too late. They took, assuming you'd always have more to give. They dismissed your pain, brushed aside your needs, and still believed they could keep you tied to them. They assumed you would bend forever, never realizing that one day you would break free. Now, your silence is their loudest punishment. They look around and feel the emptiness where you used to be. They reach for you, but you're gone. And every single day, they are haunted by what they lost. The comfort of knowing you'd always return? Gone. The certainty that they could always get one more chance? Gone. The belief that you needed them more than they needed you? Completely shattered. They can distract themselves, fill their time with noise, surround themselves with temporary replacements, but nothing feels the same. Because you weren't just another person in their life. You were the anchor, the balance, the force that made things work. And now they have to sit in the wreckage of their own making. The worst part? They did this to themselves. They had something rare, something extraordinary, and they let it slip through their fingers. And now, every second without you is a painful reminder of just how badly they failed. But you're done being their lesson. Let them wake up alone, because you're never looking back. Number 11. The fire they took for granted. Some people spend their lives trapped in a world of gray, safe, predictable, and painfully ordinary. They settle for the familiar, surrounding themselves with mediocrity, never daring to disrupt the dull rhythm of their existence. And then, you walked in. You weren't just another presence in their orbit. You were the exception, a force of nature, a fire that burned through their comfort, exposing the cracks they refused to see. You made them feel something real, something they were never brave enough to chase on their own. Without even trying, you shook their world. Your energy, your ambition, your authenticity, it all stood in sharp contrast to the life they had built around convenience and complacency. You reminded them that life is more than just existing. You were proof that something extraordinary was possible, and that terrified them. Because the truth is, people like them don't want to rise. They want to remain. They crave stability, even if it means settling for less. They talk about greatness, but refuse to do the work to achieve it. And you were living proof of what they could be, if only they had the courage to try. But instead of rising to meet you, they resented you for it. It's easier to hate the fire than admit you're afraid of burning. They tried to dim you, contain you, make you smaller, not because they didn't see your light, but because they were afraid of what it exposed in them. And now, the illusion is shattered. They thought they could return to their ordinary world, but something is missing, something they can't replace. The space you once filled is now a hollow void, a reminder of everything they ignored, everything they could have been, and everything they will never become. Because they didn't just lose you. They lost their only chance at more. Number 12. They never loved you. They wanted to own you. They never truly loved you. They loved controlling you. You weren't a person to them. You were a piece in their puzzle, a character in their carefully crafted story. Your presence made their life easier. Your energy kept their world spinning, but your freedom? Your right to choose? That was never part of the deal. They never imagined a version of life where you were no longer at their command. You were supposed to stay exactly where they placed you, bending, adjusting, shrinking to fit their expectations. They mistook your kindness for obedience, your patience for permanence, and your loyalty for self-abandonment. To them, you weren't an individual with needs and dreams of your own. You were a comfort, a stability, a certainty. For too long, they operated under the illusion that you would always prioritize their wants over your own, that your boundaries were mere suggestions, that your identity was flexible enough to be shaped by their hands. They convinced themselves that you would always play along so they'd never have to face the truth they never truly respected you. And just like that, their illusion shattered. Because your leaving wasn't just about walking away, it was about rejecting the cage they put you in. You tore up the unspoken contract that said you had to give, that you had to tolerate, that you had to stay small so they could feel big. And when you walked out, you took something with you, the power they thought they had over you. Now they're left with a brutal truth. The version of you they loved never even existed. It was a projection, a construct they built in their mind. And the real you, the one who refuses to be controlled, the one who walks away without looking back, that's the you they never wanted to see. They don't grieve your absence. They grieve the loss of control. And that is what haunts them the most. They expected a reaction, a dramatic farewell. They thought you'd cry, beg, or plead for them to see your worth. They waited for anger, for heartbreak, for one last desperate attempt to hold on. But instead, you did the one thing they never prepared for. You simply walked away. No fights, no explanations, no lingering goodbyes. And that is what terrifies them the most. They thought they had time to manipulate, time to guilt trip, time to pull you back in just like they always had. They mistook your patience for permanence, your endurance for acceptance. They believed you were so deeply entangled in their world that you'd never find the strength to leave. But what they failed to realize was that your patience wasn't endless. It was a countdown. And when the last second ticked away, you were gone. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about making a statement. It was about something far more powerful, self-respect. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't need their understanding. Because when you finally recognize your worth, you don't negotiate it. And now they are haunted by the finality of it all. For the first time, they see the truth their power over you was never real. It was a fragile illusion, one that only existed because you allowed it. The moment you chose yourself, their entire world collapsed. They call you selfish, cold, heartless. But what they really mean is, how dare you choose yourself over us? Because they were never afraid of losing you. They were afraid of losing control over you. And now that they have, they are left with nothing but the wreckage of their own choices. Your silence, it's the loudest thing they've ever heard, and it will haunt them forever. But here's the truth. They were never meant to hold that kind of power over you. Choosing yourself was never selfish. It was necessary. Walking away wasn't heartless. It was survival. And now, as you stand in your peace, free from their grasp, you realize something powerful. You were never the problem. The weight they placed on you was never yours to carry. And by letting go, you didn't just free yourself. You exposed the truth they tried so hard to bury. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to you, remember, you are never alone. Your voice matters, your strength is real, and your journey has purpose. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories and reflections. Your support means everything and helps us continue creating content that uplifts and empowers. Until next time, stay strong, chosen one. Before we embark on this sacred journey together, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to you. Your unwavering support, your heartfelt engagement, and your presence here today are not taken for granted. Whether you have contributed through super thanks or simply chosen to be part of this message, please know that you are deeply appreciated. Your support enables us to continue sharing these powerful messages with the world, reaching those who are in desperate need of truth, hope, and divine purpose. Not everyone is marked, but you, beloved chosen one, are set apart. You carry 7 signs, marks that cannot be seen with the human eye. yet they are intricately woven into your soul. These signs distinguish you from the rest of the world, affirming a divine calling that was placed upon you long before you were even born. This is not a coincidence. Have you ever felt different, as though you were meant for something greater? Have you ever experienced rejection, opposition, or an unshakable sense of knowing? If so, you may be one of the few, the rare, the divinely chosen. These 7 signs will reveal the truth to you. Stay with me until the end, because the 7th mark is the most essential of all. It may be the confirmation you've been seeking, the undeniable proof that you are truly one of God's chosen ones. Throughout history, those who were chosen by God carried unique mark signs that set them apart from the rest of humanity. These individuals walked a different path, guided by forces that many could not comprehend. Being chosen is not a personal decision. It is a divine calling, one that requires courage, faith, and unwavering determination. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I am truly one of them? How can I be certain that I carry these marks? Today, I will reveal them to you, one by one. If you feel a deep connection to what is being shared, I invite you to comment the number 999 below, a simple yet powerful declaration that you recognize your calling and stand in unity with others who walk this divine path. Let us begin this sacred revelation together. First mark: toxic people feel uncomfortable around you. When you entered a room and sensed an unspoken tension, as if your very presence unsettled certain people. When you noticed how some individuals, especially those with manipulative tendencies or hidden agendas, react strangely around you, avoiding eye contact, becoming defensive, or even showing outright hostility. This is no accident. If you have experienced this repeatedly, understand that it is not because of something you have done wrong, but rather because of who you are. You carry a light within you that disrupts the darkness in others, exposing hidden motives and unseen truths without you even having to say a word. The chosen ones throughout history have always carried an undeniable presence, a force that makes deceitful individuals feel exposed, vulnerable, and uncomfortable. Think about Jesus and how the Pharisees despised him, not because he directly attacked them, but because his very being revealed their hypocrisy. John 3:19 says, "This is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people loved darkness rather than the light, because their deeds were evil." The same principle applies to you. Your energy, your authenticity, and the divine calling on your life create a pressure that those who live in deception cannot handle. Toxic individuals may smile at you on the surface, but deep inside, they battle an unseen conflict, recognizing in you everything they refuse to be: pure, honest, and spiritually awakened. Did you ask yourself why you lost friendships without explanation, been excluded from social circles, or found yourself the target of unjust criticism despite always treating others with kindness? It's because spiritual energy is real. Those who operate in falsehood instinctively recognize that you are different, and their discomfort around you is their soul's reaction to your truth. Look at history. Figures like Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela were all met with resistance, not because they were wrong, but because their presence alone challenged the status quo. Similarly, when toxic people distance themselves from you, reject you, or even attack you, do not see it as a loss. See it as confirmation. You were never meant to blend in with a world built on deception. You were meant to stand apart. As Jesus said in John 15:18, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." Embrace this truth, for it is proof that you are walking a divine path. Second mark: you feel things before they happen. There are moments when an unshakable sense of knowing rises within you, guiding you toward decisions or warning you of unseen dangers. Events unfold exactly as you sensed they would, leaving you wondering how you knew before anything happened. This is not a coincidence or mere intuition. It is a divine gift. The ability to perceive things before they occur is one of the marks of the chosen ones, a sign that you are spiritually attuned to forces beyond the physical world. While others navigate life relying solely on logic, you experience a deeper awareness, sensing the unseen currents that shape reality. The Bible confirms this phenomenon in Amos 3:7. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants the prophets. Throughout history, those who were divinely chosen often received glimpses of the future, not to burden them, but to prepare them for their purpose. Joseph, a man destined for greatness, was given prophetic dreams that foretold both his own rise and the famine that would threaten Egypt. His ability to see beyond the present was not something he controlled, yet it positioned him to save countless lives. Similarly, Daniel received divine revelations that shaped entire kingdoms, demonstrating that God grants insight to those he has set apart. This heightened perception manifests in different ways: strong gut feelings, vivid dreams, or sudden thoughts that later prove true. Some warnings come as an unexplainable unease before making a decision, while others appear as direct visions that unfold with startling accuracy. Those who carry this mark often struggle with being misunderstood, as others dismiss their foresight as mere coincidence. However, the more it happens, the clearer it becomes that this ability is not a random occurrence but a responsibility. Embracing this gift requires trust. There will be times when instincts urge a course of action that seems illogical, yet ignoring these promptings often leads to regret. The chosen ones are given this foresight for a reason. It serves as protection, guidance, and confirmation that they are walking in alignment with God's plan. Rather than questioning why these insights come, it is essential to recognize them as divine messages meant to direct the path ahead. Like Joseph, like Daniel, and like the prophets before, this gift is a calling. The question is not whether it is real, but whether it will be embraced. Third mark: envious people. Attack you without reason. Despite living with kindness and integrity, you may have found yourself the target of criticism, rejection, or outright hostility from people who barely know you. It seems as though, no matter how much you try to avoid conflict, it always finds you. Certain individuals appear to dislike you without reason, and some may even go out of their way to undermine, exclude, or gossip about you. This is not a reflection of your flaws, nor is it a coincidence. It is a sign that you are set apart. The light you carry disturbs those who live in darkness, and their reaction to you is a manifestation of their own inner struggle. The Bible warns in 2 Timothy 3:12, "Indeed, all who desire to live a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted." Those who are chosen by God often face opposition, not because they seek it, but because their very existence challenges the falsehoods others choose to live in. Joseph, a man favored by God, was betrayed by his own brothers, not for wrongdoing, but simply because of the calling upon his life. His dreams, his potential, and the favor he carried made them envious to the point of plotting against him. Likewise, Jesus himself was persecuted, not because he committed any crime, but because his presence alone threatened the power of the religious elite. The world has always opposed those who walk in divine truth. This kind of envy is not about material possessions or status. It is about something much deeper. It is about the light within you, the confidence you carry, and the unwavering spirit that refuses to conform. Those who harbor insecurity, jealousy, or deceit cannot help but feel threatened by your presence because you represent everything they struggle to be. This is why envious people may try to discredit you, turn others against you, or attack you without cause. Their hostility is not truly about you. It is about the internal battle they face when confronted with someone who embodies truth, purity, and divine favor. Instead of allowing their negativity to weigh you down, recognize it as confirmation of your calling. The world rejected Jesus first, and those who follow in his path will face the same opposition. But as Matthew 5:11 reminds us, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. The very rejection you experience is evidence that you are walking a path few can handle. Rather than seeking approval, embrace the reality that not everyone is meant to understand you. Your purpose is far greater than their opinions. Fourth mark. You don't fit in anywhere. There is a lingering sense of being different, as if no place, group, or environment truly feels like home. Conversations that others find engaging seem shallow, and the pursuits that bring others satisfaction fail to resonate on a deeper level. While many seem content following societal norms, there is an unshakable feeling that something greater exists, something beyond what is visible. This sense of detachment is not a flaw, but a mark of being chosen. Those set apart by God often walk a path that others do not understand, making it difficult to fully connect with the world around them. The Bible speaks directly to this reality in Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The chosen ones are not meant to blend in or follow the crowd. They are meant to challenge, inspire, and lead. Their minds are wired differently, drawn to higher truths and deeper understanding. Because of this, they often feel like outsiders, struggling to relate to the things that society values. While others chase after temporary pleasures, they seek wisdom, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment. Throughout history, the most impactful figures were those who never quite fit in. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors, was ridiculed for his unconventional ideas, yet his mind was decades ahead of his time. Albert Einstein struggled within the rigid structures of traditional education, yet his unique way of thinking reshaped humanity's understanding of the universe. Jesus himself was rejected by his own people because his teachings challenged everything they thought they knew. Those who are destined to change the world are rarely understood by it. This feeling of not belonging is not a burden, but a calling. It is a sign that God has set a different path, one that does not conform to the expectations of society, but follows a divine purpose. The world often pressures individuals to fit in, to follow traditions without question, but the chosen ones feel an inner resistance to such conformity. John 15:19 affirms this truth. You do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Rather than seeking validation from a world that cannot comprehend this calling, the focus should be on embracing the uniqueness that God has placed within. The chosen are not meant to fit in. They are meant to rise above. Fifth mark. Children and animals are drawn to you. There is an undeniable sense of peace and purity that radiates from those who are chosen, a presence that the most innocent beings recognize instantly. Small children who are usually shy seem comfortable, locking eyes with an unspoken trust, smiling as if they have known this soul forever. Stray animals approach without fear, resting at their feet as though sensing a protector. This is not random, but a reflection of the divine light carried within. While toxic individuals may feel unsettled in their presence, children and animals respond in the opposite way, drawn by an energy they instinctively trust. The Bible speaks of this deep connection between purity and the innocent in Matthew 19:14, where Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Just as children were naturally drawn to Jesus, those who walk in divine truth today carry a similar presence, one that brings comfort, safety, and an unexplainable sense of warmth. This attraction is not based on words or actions, but on the energy of the soul. Children, untainted by the complexities of the world, recognize what many adults fail to see. Animals, who rely purely on instinct, sense something beyond the physical, a kindness, a depth, a spirit that reassures rather than threatens. Throughout history, there have been extraordinary individuals whose connection to the innocent was undeniable. Saint Francis of Assisi was known for his ability to communicate with animals, speaking to them as if they understood his words. Birds would land on him. Wild creatures approached without hesitation, and he treated every living being with deep compassion. Mother Teresa, despite working in the harshest conditions, was beloved by children who clung to her as if she were family, feeling the love and care she carried in her heart. This mark is not about having a simple fondness for animals or children. It is about a spiritual resonance that cannot be faked or forced. Proverbs 20:27 states, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts." This light within is what draws the pure-hearted near, forming a silent bond that words cannot explain. Those who carry this mark should recognize it as a powerful sign of their calling. The trust of the innocent is not easily given, but when it is, it serves as confirmation that divine favor is at work. Sixth mark. God speaks to you through dreams or signs. There are moments in life when certain patterns, symbols, or events seem too perfectly timed to be mere coincidence. A vivid dream lingers in the mind, carrying a message that feels significant. Words spoken by a stranger answer a question that was only asked in silent prayer. A recurring number, a familiar sign, or an unexpected encounter happens precisely when clarity is needed most. These moments are not random. They are divine communications, subtle yet powerful, guiding the chosen toward their purpose. The Bible affirms this in Job 33:14-16. For God speaks in one way, and in two, though man does not perceive it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men while they slumber on their beds. Then he opens the ears of men and terrifies them with warnings. Throughout history, God has used dreams and signs to reveal his plans, warn of danger, and provide reassurance. Joseph, the son of Jacob, received prophetic dreams that foretold his rise to power, positioning him to save Egypt from famine. Daniel was given visions that unveiled the future of entire kingdoms. Even Pilate's wife, though not a prophet, was warned in a dream about the innocence of Jesus, urging her husband to have no part in his condemnation. These divine messages can appear in various forms. Some experience prophetic dreams that later come true, while others notice repeating symbols in everyday life, numbers, animals, or phrases that seem to follow them. Sometimes the guidance is internal, a strong impression on the heart that feels undeniably real. Many chosen ones recall moments when an unexplained urge led them to make a decision that later proved crucial. These signs are not coincidences. They are God's way of speaking, confirming, and leading. Despite their significance, divine messages are often dismissed by those who are not spiritually attuned. Many ignore their dreams, rationalize away signs, or overlook the subtle ways in which God communicates. But for the chosen, these moments are impossible to disregard. Numbers 12:6 states, "When there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, reveal myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams." Recognizing these signs is not about superstition, it is about being sensitive to divine guidance. The question is not whether God is speaking, but whether the chosen are truly listening. Seventh mark. The power of your prayer. When words are spoken in faith, something shifts in the unseen realm. Prayers that come from a righteous heart carry a force that is not bound by human limitations. Situations that seemed impossible suddenly change, obstacles are removed, and doors that were once firmly shut begin to open. This is not coincidence or luck. It is the evidence of divine intervention. The prayers of the chosen are not empty words. They are powerful declarations that move heaven and earth. The Bible confirms this in James 5:16. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Those who carry this mark have witnessed firsthand the undeniable power of prayer. Miracles unfold, not always in expected ways, but in ways that reveal God's perfect timing and wisdom. Some prayers are answered instantly, while others unfold over time, aligning circumstances in ways that could never have been orchestrated by human hands. Even in moments of waiting, strength and peace are given, proving that prayer is not just about changing external situations, it is also about transforming the heart. Throughout history, those with unwavering faith have changed the course of events through prayer. Daniel's prayers shut the mouths of lions. Hannah's prayers brought forth a prophet. George Mueller, who relied solely on prayer to provide for thousands of orphans, saw every need met without ever asking for donations. This mark is not just about speaking words to God. It is about carrying a deep connection with Him, where prayers are not only heard, but answered. Mark 11:24 declares, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." This is the power entrusted to the chosen, prayers that bring forth divine movement. If these signs resonate within you, it is no accident you are set apart for something greater. These marks are proof of your divine calling, a purpose uniquely designed for you. Comment 999 below as a declaration that you recognize this truth and stand in alignment with your higher purpose. Your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Stay connected, keep walking in faith, and never doubt the path that has been laid before you. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss these life-changing messages. Together, we will continue unveiling the deeper truths that God has for His chosen ones. May His guidance, favor, and wisdom be with you always. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to rise. There is a secret about your existence, a truth so profound that ancient forces conspired to bury it beneath the weight of time. It was never meant to be spoken, never meant to be discovered. But destiny has a way of defying even the most immutable decrees, and now the veil is lifting. From the moment you took your first breath, your name was inscribed on a plane few can perceive. It was etched into the very fabric of existence, a mark neither celestial beings nor shadowed entities could fully comprehend. You were never supposed to be here, or at least, you were never meant to remain. An order had been given. A decree had been set in stone long before you could ever question it. A hunter was sent. A creature shaped by chaos and obedient to darkness. A fallen angel, stripped of grace and bound to the will of the abyss. He had ended countless lives before, erased souls without hesitation, his blade an extension of his existence, merciless, unwavering, absolute. But when it came to you, something changed. He should have struck you down. He should have erased your name from the annals of time, as he had done with so many others. And yet, he did not. The night he found you should have been like any other, a silent execution, another soul erased without question. He had done this before, countless times, without hesitation. His blade had never faltered, his purpose never wavered. And yet the moment he stood before you, something within him broke. His instincts screamed for him to act, to finish what had been decreed since before you were even born. He should have struck you down before you ever saw him, before you even knew he existed. But the blade never fell. A strange sensation coursed through him, unfamiliar and unwelcome, a crack in the certainty that had defined his existence for eons. Hesitation. A shadow of doubt passed through his very being, subtle yet shattering, like a whisper of something forbidden in the abyss. It was not weakness, he had no concept of such a thing, but something deeper, something that defied the order written into his essence. He told himself it was a fleeting miscalculation, an insignificant delay. But the longer he stood there, the more he realized the truth. He could not do it. He could not erase you. Hatred rose in him not for you, but for himself. He had never failed, never questioned, never faltered. His entire existence was built upon obedience, upon the execution of commands that should never be ignored. And yet, here he stood, his blade frozen in the air, an unspoken war raging within him. He had never been anything but a servant of darkness, a force of ruin, a shadow bound to the will of the abyss. So why now did he feel something shift, something unravel? He tried to force himself to act, to silence the anomaly before it grew into something uncontrollable. But it was already too late. Something in your presence disarmed him in a way he could not comprehend. You were not just another soul, another name to be erased. There was something about you, something that defied the rules he had always known. Your heartbeat echoed through the silence, steady and unafraid, and for the first time in all his existence, he felt as though he were standing on the edge of something unknown. The weight of his own hesitation crushed him, a foreign burden pressing against him like unseen chains. He should have left, should have vanished into the shadows, but instead he lingered, caught in the gravity of something beyond his understanding. Anger burned in his chest, not at you, but at himself. He could not comprehend why his body refused to obey, why the decree that had guided him for eternity now felt like an illusion crumbling before his eyes. And so, he did the only thing he could. He turned and disappeared into the night, retreating into the darkness that had always been his home. But something followed him. An invisible mark burned into his mind, a name he could not forget. He told himself he would return, that he would correct this mistake, that he would finish what he had started. But deep down, he already knew the truth. The failure was not in his blade. The failure was in him. Since that night, he has never left you. You may not see him, but you feel him. A silent presence lingering just beyond the veil of perception. A weight pressing against your soul. At first, it is nothing more than an unshakable feeling, an occasional chill crawling up your spine, a fleeting shiver in the warmth of the sun. You dismiss it as paranoia, an overactive imagination. But deep down, you know better. Something unseen moves in the spaces between your breaths, watching, waiting. He keeps his distance at first, hidden in the places where light does not reach. He watches in silence, trying to understand why he failed. He tells himself it was a momentary lapse, an anomaly to be corrected. But the longer he observes, the less he believes his own justifications. The truth is far more insidious. Something in you lingers in his mind, refusing to be erased. He does not understand it, and that terrifies him. The more he watches, the closer he draws. His presence shifts from a whisper to a weight, pressing against the fabric of your existence. You begin to notice. The air thickens when you're alone. The light seems dimmer, sounds more distant, as if the world itself recoils at the presence of something unnatural. You catch glimpses of movement and reflections, but when you turn, there is nothing there. The feeling of being watched intensifies, an oppressive awareness that burrows into your thoughts, turning silence into something unbearable. The dreams begin soon after. At first, they are fragments, half-formed images that dissolve the moment you wake. But they grow stronger, more vivid, more real. A shadow looms at the edge of your vision, always watching, never speaking. The presence does not touch you, but you feel it, an unrelenting force just beyond reach, tethered to you by something unseen. You wake with the lingering sensation of something unfinished, something waiting. He should remain hidden, should erase all trace of himself. That is what he was trained to do. But he does not. Instead, he leaves pieces of himself behind, not mistakes, but choices. A whisper too close, a shadow that lingers just a moment too long, a sensation that tightens around you like unseen fingers. He tells himself it is part of the hunt, that he is simply studying his prey. But the truth is far more dangerous, because with each passing day it becomes clearer. This is no longer a hunt. It is an obsession. And worse still, he no longer knows if he is watching you because he must end what he started, or because he cannot bear to turn away. He has tried everything to silence the chaos within him. He has drowned himself in battle, torn through countless souls, and buried himself in destruction, all in a desperate attempt to forget. But no matter how much blood stains his hands, no matter how deep he buries himself in the abyss, nothing erases the moment he met you. Your existence clings to him like a shadow that refuses to fade, a mark burned into his very essence. He tells himself that it is a curse, that you are an anomaly disrupting the order he has always known. And yet, The more he tries to deny it, the more the truth presses against him like a weight he cannot escape. The failure was not in his blade. It was in him. You were supposed to be nothing, a name, a target, a task to complete and forget. But you are none of those things. The rules he has always obeyed, the absolute certainty of his purpose, have shattered. He is no longer sure if he was sent to eliminate you or if this mission was never about you at all. Perhaps it was about him. Perhaps it was meant to break something within him, to expose a weakness he never knew existed. He fights against the thought, against the unraveling of his own existence. But it is useless. Every path leads back to you. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees your face. Every time he tries to forget, your presence returns stronger, more consuming. He cannot understand why, and that terrifies him. Was this fate? Was he always meant to find you, not as an executioner, but as something else? The question haunts him. It poisons him. It transforms him. And though he tries to convince himself that you are his downfall, another part of him, the part he has spent lifetimes ignoring, whispers that maybe, just maybe, you are his awakening. Then one night, the pursuit ends. The shadows no longer conceal him, and the whispers no longer dissolve before you can hear them. He stands before you at last, no longer a distant presence lurking in the darkness, but a force that bends reality itself. The air around you shifts, thick with something unseen, something inevitable. You feel it in your bones, the weight of this moment, the unshakable sense that everything has been leading to this. His blade is drawn, but it does not strike. His mission was clear, his purpose absolute. And yet, he hesitates. He has told himself time and time again that this is merely unfinished business, that you are nothing more than a mistake he must correct. But now, standing before you, the truth is undeniable. This was never just another hunt. This was never about you. It was about him. About the fracture that had been growing inside him since the moment he laid eyes on you. For the first time, he is forced to confront what he has been running from. The certainty that once guided him has turned to dust, and in its place is something unfamiliar, something terrifying. Choice. He was not made to choose. He was made to obey. But now, his orders feel hollow, and the weight of the blade in his hand feels more like a burden than a purpose. He expected you to run, to fight, to react in a way that would make his decision easier. But you do none of those things. You simply look at him, and that single act shatters him more than any battle ever could. He realizes, in that moment, that if he does not act now, he may never be able to fulfill his mission. But at the same time, he knows that if he does, he will be destroying the only truth he has ever glimpsed. The silence between you is unbearable, stretching into something that neither of you can define. He clings to the last remnants of his purpose, but they slip through his fingers like ash. He understands now. He did not fail because he was weak. He failed because for the first time, he saw beyond the chains that bound him. And now, there is no turning back. Freedom always comes at a price. He knows this the moment he lowers his blade, the moment he turns his back on the order that has defined his existence for eternity. The abyss does not tolerate disobedience. The masters he once served will not stand for his failure. The darkness will come for him as relentlessly as he once pursued you. But now, it is not only his fate that is at stake, it is yours. Because if he could not kill you, they will find another who will. But this time, you are not alone. Something has shifted, something irreversible. He was sent to erase you, but instead, he has become your shield. He stands at your side, no longer as the hunter, but as the protector. The very forces that once commanded him will now hunt him, and the war that has long raged in the unseen world will soon bleed into this one. The same darkness that shaped him will try to reclaim him, to drag him back into the abyss. And worse, they will try to erase you again, Because if he could not do it, they will find someone who will not hesitate. But this time, hesitation will not be his weakness. It will be his strength. He has turned his back on the only life he has ever known, and for the first time, he does not regret it. The weight that once held him captive has lifted, replaced by something unfamiliar yet undeniable. Purpose. Not the kind forced upon him, but the kind he has chosen. He does not know what comes next, does not know if redemption is even possible for one like him. But if there is one thing he is certain of, it is this: no one will ever touch you again. The hunt has ended. The battle has begun. But this is not just a story. It is a mirror. How many times has darkness tried to silence you? How many times have unseen forces sought to break you, to convince you that you were not strong enough to survive? And yet, you are still here. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are a force that defies what was written, a light that refuses to be extinguished. And like him, you have a choice: to remain bound by the chains that were placed upon you, or to break free. Destiny has brought you to this moment. The question is, what will you do with it? Because the story is far from over. The battle is only beginning. If this message resonated with you, if something deep within you stirred as you listened, then you are already on the path meant for you. Do not turn away. Do not let the world silence the truth inside you. Stand in it. Walk in it. And if you are ready to uncover more, if you are ready to step into the story that has always been waiting for you, then subscribe now and join us on this journey. Because what comes next is something you won't want to miss. Thank you for being here. And remember, your destiny has already been written. Now it's time to live it. It is no coincidence that you are here. God has led you to this very moment, and you cannot afford to ignore it. Right now, you are standing at the crossroads of your breakthrough. Everything you have prayed for, everything you have dreamed of, is within your reach. But there is something God is asking of you, something that will shift everything in your life. This is not just another message. It is a divine instruction meant to unlock the doors to your destiny. God is saying, put this under your pillow now. No excuses, no delays, no questions. Just do it. This simple yet sacred act is the key to unlocking the life you have been waiting for, the financial freedom, the love you have been searching for, the restoration you need, and the peace your soul longs for. Everything is already aligning in your favor, but first, you must take this step of faith. Before we dive into this life-changing revelation, pause for a moment and do these things. Like and subscribe to confirm your faith. Comment the number 99 as a signal to the universe, amplifying your manifestation. This is your confirmation. If you are truly one of the chosen ones, you will stay until the end, because deep down, your spirit already knows this message is for you. If you are not ready, you may click away, but for those who remain, your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. Right now, in this very moment, God is speaking directly to you. This is not just another day, another message, or another passing thought. This is a divine appointment, a sacred moment where the heavens are aligning to bring you closer to your breakthrough. The struggles you have faced, the silent battles you have fought, and the prayers you have whispered in the darkness have all led to this point. Nothing in your life has been a coincidence. Every tear, every setback, and every unanswered question has been preparing you for the shift that is about to take place. Have you ever felt like something was missing? Like you were meant for more but kept hitting invisible walls? That is because God has been preparing you, strengthening you for the moment when everything will finally fall into place. And that moment is now. The waiting is over. The door that once seemed locked is about to swing wide open. The financial breakthrough you have been longing for, the love you have been searching for, the healing you desperately need is all within reach. But first, God is asking you to take a step of faith. This is your divine instruction. Write down your desires, Place them under your pillow and trust in God's perfect timing. This is not a ritual, nor is it a simple wish. It is a declaration of faith, an act of surrender, and a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. By doing this, you are aligning yourself with divine power, stepping into a flow of blessings that have been waiting for you all along. You may have questioned whether your prayers were heard, whether your dreams were even possible. But today, God is answering. He is telling you, do not be afraid, do not doubt. Your time is now. The struggles of the past are coming to an end, and a new season of abundance, restoration, and joy is beginning. The only question is, are you ready to receive it? There is a simple, yet powerful action that God is calling you to take, an act of faith that will open the doors to your breakthrough. This is not just another practice or routine. It is a sacred manifestation technique designed to align your heart, mind, and spirit with divine abundance. If you have been longing for change, praying for a miracle, or waiting for a sign, this is it. Now is the time to take action. Here's what you must do. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down every dream, every goal, and every desire that has been placed in your heart. Do not hold back. Be specific. Write as though these things have already come to pass, as though they are already yours. There is power in your words, and when you declare your desires with faith, you activate a divine force that sets everything in motion. Once you have written your desires, turn the paper over and write the number 1111 on the back. This number is not random. It is a spiritual code, a signal to the universe and to God that you are stepping into alignment with your destiny. Next, take the paper and place it under your pillow before you sleep. As you lay down, release every worry, every doubt, and every fear. Surrender completely, trusting that God is already working on your behalf. This simple yet profound act is more than just writing on a page. It is a declaration of faith, a commitment to believe in the promises God has for you. As you sleep, the spiritual realm will move on your behalf. Doors will begin to open, opportunities will arise, and you will start to see signs that your manifestation is unfolding. The moment you place your desires under your pillow, you are telling the universe, I am ready. I trust in divine timing. I believe in the power of God's promises, and when faith meets action, miracles happen. The number 1111 is not just a sequence of digits. It is a divine code, a powerful signal from the universe, and a direct confirmation that your desires are aligning with God's perfect plan. If you have been seeing 1111 repeatedly, it is not a coincidence. It is a message from the spiritual realm, urging you to step into faith and claim the blessings that are waiting for you. This number represents manifestation, divine alignment, and new beginnings. It is a gateway between the physical and spiritual worlds, a reminder that everything you have prayed for is now within reach. When you write 1111 on the back of your manifestation paper, you are activating a spiritual frequency that amplifies your desires. This number carries the energy of divine synchronicity, meaning that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring everything together for your good. It is a sign that God is listening, that your prayers have been heard, and that miracles are already in motion. Think of 1111 as a key that unlocks the doors to your destiny. When you see it, take it as confirmation that you are on the right path, that the timing is right, and that divine forces are aligning to help you receive the blessings you have been waiting for. Whether it's financial breakthrough, love, healing, or success, writing 1111 is your way of declaring, I am ready to receive. There is something deeply sacred about praying at 3 a.m. It is the hour of divine connection, a moment when the world is silent, distractions fade, and the spiritual realm is most active. While others sleep, this is your opportunity to align your spirit with God, to step into a supernatural flow of blessings and to release your deepest desires into the universe. Praying at this hour is not just a routine, it is a spiritual awakening, a time when your faith is amplified and the heavens are open to receive your prayers. At 3 a.m., the presence of God is strong, and the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds is heightened. This is why miracles, breakthroughs, and divine revelations often happen in the stillness of the night. When you wake up and pray during this time, you are showing your unwavering faith. You are making a bold statement to God and the universe that you are ready to receive the blessings you have been waiting for. Here's how to harness the power of the 3 a.m. prayer. Wake up and take the manifestation paper from under your pillow. Hold it in your hands and read your desires aloud, not as a request, but as a declaration, believing that they are already yours. Pray with conviction, thank God in advance, and visualize your dreams coming true. Let your words be filled with faith, knowing that God is already working behind the scenes to make it happen. When you commit to praying at 3 a.m., you unlock a divine frequency that accelerates your manifestations. You will begin to notice subtle but powerful changes, unexpected opportunities, sudden breakthroughs, and signs that your desires are unfolding before your eyes. This is the hour of miracles, and if you trust in its power, you will witness the impossible becoming possible. The moment you take action writing down your desires, placing them under your pillow, and praying at 3 a.m., something powerful begins to shift. You may not see everything happen instantly, but pay close attention, because the universe will start sending you signs that your manifestation is in motion. On the first day, you might feel a newfound sense of peace, as if a burden has been lifted from your shoulders. This is not your imagination. It is a confirmation that God has heard your prayers and is working behind the scenes to bring them to life. You may experience sudden moments of clarity, unexpected messages from people you haven't heard from in a long time, or even small but significant financial breakthroughs. These are not coincidences. They are the first signs that your desires are aligning with divine timing. People who once hurt you may begin to feel the weight of their actions, and some may even reach out in ways you never expected. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will start to appear, and obstacles that once blocked your path will begin to clear. You might even notice repeated angel numbers, dreams with deeper meaning, or an inner knowing that something incredible is about to happen. The first day is just the beginning. This is the moment when the shift begins, a transformation that will lead you toward the life you have been praying for. Trust the process, keep your faith strong, and be prepared for the blessings that are already making their way to you. Your miracle is closer than you think. If you have been struggling financially, feeling trapped in a cycle of lack, or wondering when your breakthrough will arrive, know this: your season of abundance is near. God has seen your efforts, heard your prayers, and knows the weight of your burdens. The financial breakthrough you have been waiting for is already in motion, but it requires one thing from you: faith in action. Money is not something you should chase. Instead, it is something that is attracted to you when you align yourself with divine provision. When you wrote down your desires, placed them under your pillow, and committed to praying at 3 a.m., you activated a powerful spiritual law. This act of faith signaled to God and the universe that you are ready to receive the wealth and prosperity that have always been meant for you. In the coming days, expect unexpected financial opportunities, a sudden increase in income, a business idea, a chance encounter, or a door that was once closed suddenly opening. You may receive money from a source you never anticipated, debts may start to clear, or you might find yourself stepping into a new level of financial wisdom and discipline. But here's the key: believe that your financial freedom is already here. Speak abundance over your life. Stop seeing yourself as someone who lacks, and start seeing yourself as someone who is blessed, favored, and financially secure. When you change your mindset and trust that God is your provider, Wealth will flow to you effortlessly. This is your time. Your financial breakthrough is not coming, it is already here. If you have been longing for love, feeling heartbroken, or wondering if you will ever find the deep, soul-fulfilling connection you desire, know this: true love is already making its way to you. God has not forgotten you, and He has not overlooked your desire for a love that is pure, unwavering, and divinely ordained. The loneliness, the past disappointments, and the relationships that left you broken were never meant to define you. They were simply preparing you for something greater. In the coming days, expect signs and synchronicities, a chance meeting, a reconnection with someone from your past, or even an internal shift where you feel more confident, whole, and prepared for love. But most importantly, open your heart and trust that God is leading you toward the relationship that is best for you. True love is not something you chase. It is something you attract when you are aligned with your divine purpose. Let go of past wounds, embrace the love God has for you, and trust that the partner you have been waiting for is already on their way. This message is not just for anyone, it is for the chosen ones. If you have read this far, you are one of them. God is calling you to take action. Will you listen? Will you trust? Will you step into your divine inheritance? The power to change your life is in your hands. Follow these steps, take the leap of faith, and watch as God opens the floodgates of miracles in your life. Your breakthrough is here. Your dreams are manifesting. Your time is now. If you believe this message is for you, drop a 99 in the comments and let the universe know that you are ready to receive. Watch what happens next. Listen carefully. This is not just another message. This is a prophecy, a divine alarm echoing through the heavens. You did not stumble upon this by accident. This moment was orchestrated by forces beyond your comprehension. If you choose to ignore it, you risk missing the most pivotal shift of your existence. The world stands at the edge of the unseen, teetering on the brink of something powerful, something irreversible. The air is charged with energy, the universe is stirring, and the battle between light and darkness is intensifying. And you are at the very center of it. March 15th is not just another date on the calendar. It is a threshold, a gateway, a cosmic intersection where the spiritual realm collides with your reality. This day holds an energy so powerful, so transformative, that it has the potential to shift your entire destiny. If you have been feeling an unshakable urgency, a restlessness in your soul, understand that it is not your imagination. It is the call of the divine. This is your awakening, a direct transmission from the heavens. Only those who are truly chosen will understand its magnitude. There is a stirring in the air, an invisible shift rippling beneath the surface of reality. It is subtle yet undeniable, a tension pressing against your spirit, an unease that refuses to be silenced. Something is changing, something profound and irreversible, and deep within, you can sense it. This is not imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is the call of destiny, reaching out to those who are ready to listen. Life has not been easy for you. The trials you have faced would have shattered others, but you are still standing. You have walked through storms that left you bruised and weary, endured seasons of isolation, betrayal, and misunderstanding. You have been pushed to the edges, forced into battles you never sought, attacked by unseen forces that sought to extinguish your light. And yet, here you are, stronger, wiser, rising. There is a reason for this. You were never meant to blend in. From the moment you took your first breath, you were set apart, chosen for something greater. The struggles you have endured were never random. They were forging you, preparing you for a moment such as this. The world may have tried to convince you that you are ordinary, that your dreams were too big, your visions too impossible. But deep in your soul, you have always known the truth. You were never meant to live in the shadows. You carry within you something that darkness fears, a power, a light, an unshakable force waiting to be unleashed. And now, that power is awakening. March 15th is no ordinary day, and you are no ordinary being. You have been called, chosen, and positioned for a purpose far greater than you can yet comprehend. Every hardship, every delay, every loss has led you to this very moment. The question is no longer whether you are meant for something greater. The question is whether you will answer the call. The signs are all around you. The path is unfolding. But only those who have the eyes to see and the courage to step forward will embrace their destiny. The choice is yours. The battle has already begun. Forces unseen are shifting, moving, colliding in ways most cannot perceive. But you feel it. The tension, the weight pressing against your spirit, the sense that something profound is unfolding just beyond the veil of ordinary life. This is not a passing moment. This is not a mere coincidence. This is the confirmation you have been seeking. If you have been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you have been searching for an answer, this is your confirmation. The forces of darkness are well aware of what is coming, and they are afraid. That is why your battles have intensified. That is why the opposition has felt relentless. The enemy does not strike those who are weak, those who pose no threat. It targets the ones who carry light, the ones who are destined to awaken, the ones who will break chains and shift realities. That is why you have faced resistance. That is why fear has tried to creep in, whispering lies, making you question your purpose. But hear this truth. The darkness would not fight so hard if it were not terrified of what you are about to become. March 15th is a spiritual threshold, a defining moment, a test that will separate the awakened from the asleep, the bold from the hesitant, the chosen from the lost. Those who remain blind will walk past it without realizing its significance. Those who are consumed by distractions, weighed down by fear and doubt, will stay trapped in darkness. But those who are truly awake, those who have felt the call deep within their souls, will recognize the signs. They will understand that this is the moment to step fully into their power. There is no more time for hesitation, no more room for doubt. The battle is reaching its climax, and every force of light and darkness is watching to see who will rise. You are not here by accident. You were placed in this moment, in this time, for a reason. You were meant to stand. You were meant to fight. You were meant to awaken. So the choice is now before you. Will you allow fear to keep you bound, or will you step forward, fully embracing the destiny that has been waiting for you? Will you let the distractions of the world lull you back into complacency, or will you recognize that this is the moment you were made for? The days before March 15th are not ordinary. They carry a weight, a meaning, a purpose that only those who are truly attuned will recognize. The universe is speaking, shifting, aligning, preparing those who are ready to receive. Every moment leading up to this day is significant, and if you are paying attention, you will see the signs unfolding before you. Pay close attention. Your dreams will hold meaning. What may seem like random images or fleeting thoughts will, in truth, be messages encoded with divine wisdom. You may awaken with a lingering sense that you were shown something important, something beyond the veil of your conscious mind. Write them down. Reflect on them. They are not mere illusions. They are glimpses of a greater truth. You will feel sudden energy shifts, waves of intensity washing over you, moments of deep clarity followed by moments of restlessness. This is not by accident. The unseen forces are moving, realigning, making way for what is to come. You may feel a heightened awareness, a sensitivity to the people around you, the places you visit, the conversations you engage in. Trust these feelings. They are guiding you. People will unexpectedly enter and exit your life. Some will come as messengers, bringing insights, revelations, and confirmations you were not expecting. Others will leave, their presence no longer aligned with where you are headed. Do not resist this. Relationships that no longer serve your growth will naturally dissolve, while those who are meant to walk with you into this new chapter will be drawn closer. Synchronicities will appear, patterns, repeated numbers, symbols that seem to follow you wherever you go. You may overhear a conversation that speaks directly to your situation. A passage in a book may feel as though it was written just for you. Divine whispers will echo through the ordinary, waiting for you to notice. Nothing will be random. Every interaction, every shift in energy, every fleeting thought will carry meaning. The universe is speaking. God is guiding. The path is unfolding before you. But the question remains, will you listen? If this message is stirring something deep within you, if a fire has ignited in your soul as you read these words, it is because your spirit already knows the truth. This is not the time for doubt. This is not the time for hesitation. You have been prepared for this moment. You have been called to be awake, aware, and ready. Step away from distractions. Silence the noise of the world and tune in to the higher frequencies that are guiding you. The signs are there. The messages are clear. March 15th is a spiritual marker, a moment where divine forces align to awaken and transform those who are ready. This is a day of revelation, of instruction, of undeniable transformation. It is a crossroads where the physical and the spiritual meet, where destinies shift, and where the chosen ones are called to step into their true power. On this day, the veil between the seen and the unseen will be thinner than ever. If your heart and spirit are open, if you are aligned with divine purpose, you will feel the shift. You may experience heightened intuition, moments of deep clarity where the confusion of the past suddenly dissolves. Prophetic dreams may come, revealing messages that guide you toward your next steps. Synchronicities will become undeniable. Patterns, numbers, and symbols will appear in ways that feel too perfect to be mere coincidence. Truths that have long been hidden will come to light. The answers you have been seeking, the mysteries that have eluded you will begin to unfold. But understand this, not all revelations will be easy. Some may shake you, challenge your perceptions, or force you to confront realities you had once avoided. Do not resist them. These moments of awakening are necessary for your elevation. Transformation requires letting go. As you stand at this spiritual crossroads, you must be willing to release the old in order to embrace what is coming. Holding onto outdated beliefs, unhealthy attachments, or past fears will only delay the shift that is meant for you. Trust the process. Trust that what is being revealed is for your highest good. March 15th is a day that will redefine everything. It is not just about witnessing the change. It is about embracing it, stepping forward with unwavering faith, and aligning yourself with the divine plan that has been waiting for you. This is your moment of awakening. Will you be ready? Every great blessing is preceded by a test. Every breakthrough is born out of battle. This is not just a belief. It is a divine law, an unshakable spiritual principle that has been true since the beginning of time. Those who are called to something greater must first prove they are ready to receive it. Lately, the weight of trials has been heavy upon you. You have felt the relentless pressure, the spiritual attacks, the unexpected challenges that seem to come from every direction. At times, you may have even wondered, why is everything in my life falling apart just when I am so close to my purpose? But hear this truth. This is not a setback. It is preparation. What feels like resistance is, in reality, the final test before your elevation. March 15th is a pivotal moment in your journey, a crossroads where your destiny begins to take shape. But before you can step into the fullness of what has been prepared for you, you must first walk through the fire of testing. Your relationships will be tested. People you once trusted may reveal their true colors. Some may turn away from you, while others may try to pull you back into old patterns. Do not cling to those who cannot walk with you into this new season. Let them go. Your faith will be tested. Doors that once seemed wide open may suddenly close. Opportunities you were certain of may slip away. But understand this, a delay is not a denial. Sometimes what appears to be rejection is divine redirection. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Your patience will be tested, answers may not come as quickly as you desire, and the waiting may feel unbearable. But this waiting is not wasted time. It is the refining process, the moment where your endurance is strengthened, where your spirit is fortified for what is to come. The reason everything feels chaotic, the reason you are facing resistance, is because the enemy knows exactly how close you are to something big. It is afraid of what happens when you step fully into your power. It wants to distract you, discourage you, and make you believe that you are not ready. But the truth is, you have already been prepared. Every trial, every hardship, every tear has shaped you into the person who can handle what is coming. So stand firm. Hold your ground. Do not let fear convince you to turn back now. The test before the blessing is the final threshold, the last step before you step into what is truly yours. March 15th marks a turning point, a moment of great separation, a shift so profound that many will not be prepared for it. This is the moment where the past and the future collide, where you are called to make a choice. Cling to what no longer serves you, or step boldly into what is meant for you. A divine shift is happening, and with it comes a demand. You cannot carry dead weight into your destiny. You cannot hold on to the people, habits, and mindsets that no longer align with your purpose and still expect to rise. Growth requires sacrifice, and elevation demands release. Many of you have already sensed this coming. The friendships that once felt comforting now drain your energy. Conversations that once entertained you now feel hollow. The places and routines that once felt safe now suffocate you. This is not a coincidence. This is divine intervention. The universe is rearranging, restructuring, making space for what is truly meant for you. But some of you are resisting. You feel the pull to move forward, yet fear keeps you clinging to the familiar. You hesitate to let go because you do not know what lies ahead. But hear this. Holding on to what is dying will only delay what is coming alive. The longer you resist, the more painful the process will become. Let them go. Let go of the relationships that drain you, the doubts that cripple you, the version of yourself that was built on survival. That version of you has served its purpose, but now, you are not in survival mode anymore. You are in ascension mode. The universe is making it clear. What is meant for you will remain, and what is not will be removed. Do not chase. Do not force. Do not beg to hold on to what is slipping away. Trust that this separation is sacred. Trust that what is coming is far greater than what is being left behind. March 15th will divide those who are willing to embrace the new from those who are too afraid to let go of the old. The question now is not whether the shift is happening. The question is, will you allow yourself to rise, or will you cling to what is already fading away? This moment is no longer just a warning. It is a decision. You stand at the threshold of transformation, a crossroads where your choice will define the path ahead. There are only two options before you. Awaken, step into your destiny, and claim the purpose for which you were created, or allow fear and doubt to pull you back into the shadows of hesitation and regret. Deep down, you already know the truth. You have felt it stirring in your heart, whispering in your spirit. You have seen the signs, the patterns woven into your life. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of uncertainty was not random. It was preparation. The trials you endured were never meant to break you, but to shape you. You were not abandoned. You were being refined. And now, the moment has arrived. The call is clear. March 15th will not wait. Destiny will not wait. The time for hesitation is over. The world is shifting, and you were born for such a time as this. So the final question remains. Are you ready? Not just to dream, not just to hope, but to take action. To rise, to embrace the power that has been placed within you, and to step fully into the life that is waiting for you. If you hear this message and it resonates, then let this be your sign. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. The journey is unfolding, and you are meant to be part of it. This is your moment. Rise, step into your power. The time is now. Have you ever felt it? That deep, unshakable knowing within you, a fire that refuses to be extinguished? Since childhood, you've sensed it, though you could never quite explain it. A difference, a calling, a force within you that sets you apart from the rest. You have always known that you do not think like others, nor do you feel as they do. The places where they find comfort feel like a prison to you. Their dreams do not stir your soul. Their ambitions seem hollow, their pursuits meaningless. While they eagerly follow the paths laid before them, something in you resists. Something in you knows that you were not meant to fit in. But why? Why does the world not understand you? Why does your spirit feel misplaced in a realm that does not move as you do? The answer, chosen one, is both simple and profound. You are not 100% human. That statement may challenge everything you have been taught. It may shake the foundation of your understanding. But if you quiet the noise of the world, if you listen with your spirit instead of your mind, you will realize that this truth is not new to you. It has always been there, waiting to be unlocked. This is not a metaphor. This is not an exaggeration. This is truth. There is something within you that transcends human comprehension, something beyond the limitations of flesh and blood. Your spirit is not of this world. Your origin is not of the earth. The very essence that flows through you is mixed with something divine, something that cannot be explained by human logic. Divinity itself has touched you. You are a vessel of something far greater than what the world perceives, a mystery hidden from the eyes of the ordinary but revealed to those who have ears to hear. Yet the world has tried to convince you otherwise. It has told you that you are just like everyone else, that you must conform, that you must follow its systems, its structures, its rules. It has tried to silence the fire inside you, to make you doubt your difference, to make you question your purpose. But despite all its efforts, something in you has always resisted. Something in you refuses to conform, refuses to accept mediocrity, refuses to settle for the ordinary. That is because you were never meant to. This message is not for everyone. Many will hear these words and dismiss them. Many will remain blind to the truth, too entangled in the illusion of this world to see beyond it. But you, if you are truly chosen, will feel the weight of these words in your soul. So open your heart, open your mind. Let the fire of truth consume every lie that has been planted within you. Let it burn away every false identity the world has tried to place upon you. Let it awaken what has been dormant inside you for too long. Because today is the day you remember who you are. Today is the day you step into the fullness of your identity. Today, you rise. If you are not 100% human, then what are you? To answer this question, we must go back to the very beginning. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion." What does it mean to be made in the image of God? It means that you are more than just flesh and blood, more than just a physical body navigating a temporary world. It means that your true nature is spirit first, eternal, limitless, and connected to something far greater than human existence. This is why you feel things that others do not. This is why you see beyond what is in front of you, why your heart longs for something more, something beyond this life. You were never meant to be confined by the limitations of this world because your origin is not of the earth. Your very essence carries the imprint of the Creator Himself, a divine signature woven into the fabric of your being. This is why you have always felt different, why you have never fully belonged. The world operates on a frequency that does not resonate with you. It moves in patterns that seem unnatural, bound by limitations that you were never meant to accept. While others are satisfied with what they can see and touch, your spirit yearns for something deeper. You perceive things that others overlook, you sense truths that they dismiss, and you dream beyond the boundaries they accept as reality. You are not merely human. You are spirit wrapped in flesh, an eternal being having a temporary experience, a creation of divine intention placed in a world that was never meant to contain you. And yet the enemy works tirelessly to make you forget this truth. The world has conditioned you to believe that you are nothing more than flesh and bone, that your worth is determined by earthly measures, that you must conform to the expectations of society. It has tried to silence the voice inside you that whispers, "You were made for more." It has tried to drown out the calling that stirs within your soul. But no matter how much the world tries to bury it, the fire inside you cannot be extinguished. The truth of your identity will always rise. This is why you feel restless. This is why you cannot find fulfillment in the things that satisfy others. This is why, no matter how much you try to fit in, something always pulls you away. Because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were never meant to be like the rest. You were chosen, set apart, marked by heaven with a purpose greater than what the world can understand. And the moment you fully realize who you are, everything changes. You will no longer be bound by the limitations of this world. You will no longer live beneath your calling. You will no longer shrink back in fear or uncertainty. Instead, you will rise. You will walk in dominion, because you are not just human. You are divine by design. You carry the breath of God inside you, and when you awaken to this truth, the world will never see you the same way again. There are two types of people walking this earth, though they may appear the same on the outside. The first group consists of those who are of the world. Their minds, desires, and ambitions are tied to earthly systems. They live by what they can see, touch, and control, measuring their success by material gain, social validation, and temporary pleasures. Their entire existence is rooted in what is tangible, and their decisions are dictated by what the world deems acceptable, desirable, or powerful. They chase after wealth, status, and approval, believing that these things define their worth. They are bound by the limits of human understanding, confined to the cycle of birth, survival, and death, never questioning if there is more beyond what their eyes can perceive. These are the ones who belong to the world, shaped by its ways, ruled by its principles, and ultimately destined to pass away with it. Then there is the second group, those who are not of this world. These are the chosen ones, the ones whose spirits were set apart before time itself. Though they walk among the people of this earth, they are different. Their thoughts do not conform to the patterns of the world. Their desires do not align with its fleeting pleasures, and their hearts are attuned to a frequency that others cannot hear. Their existence is not defined by what is seen, but by what is eternal. They are governed by faith rather than fear, by divine truth rather than human opinion. They are called to a higher standard, a greater purpose, a destiny that extends beyond this life. Jesus himself spoke of this distinction when he said, "They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world." If you have always felt like an outsider, like a stranger in your own land, it is because your spirit was not born here. Your origin is divine, your purpose is eternal, and no matter how much the world tries to mold you into its image, you will never truly belong to it. This is why you feel resistance. This is why you face rejection. This is why you find yourself at odds with a world that does not understand you, because your essence does not come from this place. And this, chosen one, is both your greatest strength and your greatest challenge. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were never meant to be comfortable in a world that is fading away. You were set apart, chosen by God, designed for something greater than what this world can offer. So stop trying to fit in where you do not belong. Stop seeking validation from those who cannot recognize what is inside you. You were not meant to be like them. You are meant to stand out, to lead, to walk in power, and to fulfill the divine calling that has been placed upon your life. The time has come. The world is shifting. The heavens are stirring, and those who have been asleep are beginning to wake up. For too long, the chosen ones have wandered in confusion, searching for answers, questioning their identity, and wrestling with the weight of their calling. Many have felt lost, isolated, rejected, misunderstood by the world around them. They have spent years trying to conform, trying to fit into a society that was never meant to embrace them. But now, something is happening. A divine awakening is taking place. The chosen ones are beginning to remember who they are. No more doubt, no more fear, no more hesitation. The veil is being lifted and the truth is being revealed. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to live like everyone else. You were never meant to walk the same path as the rest of the world. You were called, set apart, destined for something far greater than the limitations this world has tried to place upon you. And now, the time has come for you to rise. The enemy has worked tirelessly to keep you blind to your true identity. He has tried to drown you in fear, in distractions, in cycles of delay and confusion. He has sent people to discourage you, to make you question yourself, to weaken your spirit. He has used rejection, failure, and pain to convince you that you are forgotten, unworthy, powerless. But he was afraid of this moment, because he knew that one day you would wake up. He knew that one day you would finally understand who you are, and when that day came, nothing would be able to stop you. That day is now. Your struggles were not meant to break you. They were meant to shape you. Every battle you have faced was a training ground for the power you are about to walk in. Every rejection, every hardship, every painful experience was preparing you for the moment you step into your divine purpose. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are a warrior in the kingdom of God, a force that the darkness has tried to silence. But it has failed, because the fire inside you cannot be extinguished. The world will not understand what is happening inside you. People will question you. They will try to pull you back into their systems, their traditions, their expectations. They will tell you to be practical, to be realistic, to settle for a life that is safe and comfortable. But you were never meant to be comfortable. You were meant to change the world. You were meant to shake the foundations of the earth with the power that has been placed inside you. You were meant to walk in authority, in wisdom, in divine favor. This is your awakening. No longer will you live in fear. No longer will you shrink back. No longer will you accept mediocrity. The kingdom is calling. The time is now. You must rise. You must walk boldly in your purpose. You must take your place. The enemy has tried to stop you, but he has failed. Nothing can hold you back now. Nothing can silence you. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are anointed for such a time as this. So rise, chosen one. Step into your destiny. The world is about to see your power, and nothing will ever be the same again. If this message has stirred something deep within you, if your spirit has resonated with these words and a fire has been ignited inside you, then do not let this moment pass. Declare it now. Speak it into existence. Type these words in the comments. I know who I am. Let this be a statement of faith, a declaration of awakening, a confirmation that you are no longer bound by the limitations the world has tried to place upon you. You are not lost. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, set apart, and destined for something greater. This is your moment to step into the truth of who you were always meant to be. I want to take a moment to thank you for being here, for opening your heart to this message, and for walking this journey of spiritual awakening. Your presence is not an accident. You were led here for a reason. You are part of a movement, a divine calling that is gathering the chosen ones, awakening them to their true identity. And your engagement, whether through a comment, a like, or sharing this message, is helping spread this truth to others who are still searching. To those who have already subscribed, your support is invaluable. You are not just following a channel. You are joining a community of awakened souls who refuse to live in darkness, who choose truth over deception, purpose over confusion. If you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so now. Click that button, turn on notifications, and stand with us as we continue to awaken and empower those who are ready to walk in their divine calling. Every action you take, every comment, every share, every like, is not just a gesture. It is a ripple effect that reaches people who need this message. And for that, I am truly grateful. This is just the beginning of your journey. Walk boldly, stand firm, and never forget, you are not of this world. You are chosen. Now let the world hear you. Declare it in the comments. I know who I am. Let this be your moment of power, your statement of faith, and your first step into the life you were always meant to live. Let me begin by asking you a question that may seem simple at first, but I want you to truly reflect on it. What are you allowing into your life right now that could be silently lowering your vibration? Because here's the truth. Your life, your energy, and your reality are all deeply intertwined with the vibrational frequency you hold. Everything you touch, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, either elevates you or weighs you down. As a chosen one, your energy is sacred. It is the light that fuels your purpose, the force that attracts blessings, and the key to manifesting the reality you were destined to live. But if you are serious about stepping into your purpose, if you are truly committed to maintaining high vibrations, you must be mindful of the things that lower your frequency. Now, have you ever felt a heaviness in your spirit after engaging with something or someone that drained your energy? That sense of unease when you ignored your intuition and interacted with something that just didn't feel right? Yet how often do we dismiss those feelings? How often do we convince ourselves that it's harmless, that it doesn't really matter, that we can rise above it? But here's something you must understand. Energy is contagious. Vibrations are real, and everything in this world, from people to ideas to emotions, carries a frequency. When you engage with something of a lower vibration, no matter how strong you think you are, it affects you. It pulls you down, sometimes so subtly that you don't even realize it until it's too late. So let's get into it. If you are truly dedicated to keeping your vibrations high, there are certain things you must never touch. The first and most dangerous thing you must avoid is toxic relationships. And this isn't just about romantic relationships. It extends to every connection in your life, including friendships, family members, co-workers, and even acquaintances who bring negativity into your space. Toxicity does not always come in obvious forms. Sometimes it hides behind the mask of familiarity, obligation, or even love. But regardless of how it presents itself, one undeniable truth remains. These relationships have the power to lower your vibration, drain your energy, and pull you away from your highest self. You know exactly who these people are. They are the ones who criticize more than they encourage, who gossip instead of uplift, who seem to take more from you than they ever give. These are the individuals who operate from a place of negativity, who constantly complain, judge, and spread fear. And while it's easy to justify keeping them around, because of shared history, because they are family, because you don't want to seem unkind, the reality is that every relationship is an energy exchange. Every time you engage with someone, you are absorbing some of their energy, while also giving away some of your own. If you are constantly surrounded by those who vibrate at a lower frequency, it is only a matter of time before their energy begins to influence you, subtly shifting your thoughts, emotions, and even your perception of yourself. Yet, despite knowing how draining these connections can be, many of us continue to hold on. Why? Because of fear. The fear of being alone, the fear of confrontation, or the fear of change. We tell ourselves that we owe these relationships something, that walking away would be selfish or cruel. Some of us believe we can fix them, that if we just love them enough, support them enough, or guide them in the right direction, they will change. But here's a hard truth that many chosen ones struggle to accept. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot save someone who refuses to save themselves. No matter how much love and light you bring into a relationship, if the other person is unwilling to rise, they will only pull you down in the process. And here's the dangerous part. This kind of energy drain does not always happen suddenly or dramatically. More often than not, it is a slow and subtle erosion of your spirit. One negative conversation at a time. One instance of self-doubt planted by their words. One moment of absorbing their pessimism and carrying it as your own. Before you know it, you find yourself more anxious, more doubtful, more exhausted than before, wondering why your light feels dimmer and your energy feels heavier. So how do you break free? The first step is awareness. Recognizing the relationships that are no longer serving your highest good is essential. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. Do you feel uplifted, inspired, and aligned? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, and disconnected from yourself? Your emotions are your greatest guide. They will always reveal who is adding to your energy and who is depleting it. Once you have identified the toxic connections in your life, the next step is the hardest one: letting go. This does not always mean cutting people off completely, but it does mean setting firm boundaries and protecting your energy. Some people will not understand your decision to step back, and that is okay. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over chaos, light over darkness, or self-preservation over self-sacrifice. This journey is not easy. You may grieve the loss of certain relationships, even if you know they were unhealthy. But remember this: growth often requires separation. Just as a tree must shed its dead leaves to make room for new growth, you must release what is no longer serving you to make space for what is meant to flourish in your life. Protecting your vibration is not selfish. It is necessary. Your energy is sacred, and it should only be shared with those who respect and honor it. If someone is not contributing to your growth, your joy, and your higher purpose, then they do not deserve a front row seat in your life. At the end of the day, being a chosen one means being discerning about who and what you allow into your energetic space. Not everyone who is drawn to your light is meant to walk this path with you. Some people come into your life as lessons, while others are meant to walk beside you as blessings. The key is knowing the difference and having the courage to release anything that no longer aligns with your highest self. Now, let's talk about something even more subtle but just as dangerous: the content you consume. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information. Think about how much time we spend scrolling through social media, watching TV, listening to music, reading the news, or even just mindlessly absorbing whatever pops up on our screens. Content is everywhere, and it never stops. The question is, what are you allowing into your mind? Most people don't realize that every word, every image, every sound carries a vibration. Everything you expose yourself to has the potential to either elevate your energy or lower it. Some content is uplifting, inspiring, and aligned with the frequency you are trying to hold. But much of it is not. In fact, a significant portion of the content we consume daily is designed to do the exact opposite. It is programmed to keep you in fear, trap you in comparison, and hold you in a mindset of judgment and lack. Social media, for example, can be one of the biggest culprits. We scroll mindlessly, consuming a mix of negativity, unrealistic standards, and carefully curated versions of people's lives that make us feel as though we are falling behind. Without realizing it, we begin to compare ourselves to these filtered realities, questioning our own worth and accomplishments. We see headlines designed to provoke anxiety, influencers promoting unattainable lifestyles, and endless opinions that may not align with our truth, yet somehow infiltrate our subconscious. And the scariest part? We don't even realize it's happening. We tell ourselves, it's just entertainment, it's just background noise, or it doesn't really affect me. But here's the truth. The content you consume becomes the thoughts you think, and the thoughts you think shape the reality you create. Every single time you expose yourself to fear-based news, gossip, or negativity, you are allowing that energy into your mental space. Every time you listen to music with lyrics that glorify pain, anger, or self-destruction, you are reinforcing those emotions within yourself. Every time you engage with content that promotes scarcity, insecurity, or division, you are programming your mind to see the world through that lens. And it doesn't just stop at social media or music. The movies you watch, the books you read, the conversations you engage in, all of it contributes to your mental and emotional state. If you are not consciously choosing what you allow into your mind, then the world is programming it for you. So, ask yourself, are you consuming content that elevates you or content that lowers you? Because here's the thing, your mind is the most powerful tool you have for creating your reality. Whatever you feed it consistently will become the foundation of your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately, your actions. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, fear, and division, you will begin to see the world through that perspective. But if you choose to fill your mind with wisdom, inspiration, and high vibrational content, your perception of life will shift accordingly. The good news? You have control. You get to decide what you engage with. You get to curate your mental diet just as carefully as you would your physical one. Just as you wouldn't willingly consume poison, you must learn to avoid mental toxins that weaken your energy and keep you stuck in lower frequencies. Here's how you can start protecting your mind. Be intentional about your content choices. Before engaging with anything, whether it's a movie, a book, or a social media post, ask yourself, how will this affect my energy? Does this align with the vibration I want to hold? If it doesn't serve you, don't engage. Unfollow negativity. Social media can be a powerful tool when used wisely. If a page, account, or channel constantly spreads fear, drama, or unrealistic comparisons, unfollow it. Surround your feed with content that uplifts, educates, and inspires. Limit news consumption. Staying informed is important, but being bombarded with fear-driven headlines daily is not. The media thrives on sensationalism, and constant exposure to negative news can leave you feeling anxious, hopeless, and drained. Choose when and how you receive information, and focus on solutions rather than problems. Be mindful of music and entertainment. Lyrics, stories, and images have a profound effect on the subconscious mind. Pay attention to what you're listening to and watching. If the energy behind it is destructive, chaotic, or heavy, consider choosing something more uplifting. Prioritize real-world experiences. Instead of spending hours consuming content online, engage with real life. Read books that expand your mind. Have meaningful conversations with people who inspire you. Spend time in nature, meditate, and connect with yourself. At the end of the day, your mind is sacred space. Guard it fiercely. The world will always try to pull you into distraction, fear, and comparison, but you have the power to choose what you engage with. The more intentional you are about the content you consume, the higher your vibration will be, and the more aligned you will become with the life you were meant to live. But it's not just the people you surround yourself with or the content you consume that you need to be mindful of. It's also your own habits. The things you do when no one is watching, the choices you make daily, the way you treat your body, your mind, and your spirit. All of these play a significant role in shaping your energy. Whether you realize it or not, every action you take carries a vibration. Some actions strengthen your energy, elevate your frequency, and bring you closer to your higher self. Others weaken you, drain your vitality, and pull you away from your true purpose. So let's talk about the aspects of your daily life that silently influence your vibration. Number 1. The foods you eat, fuel or poison. Your body is the vessel that carries your energy in this physical world. What you put into it directly affects how you feel, how you think, and how you function. Yet so many of us treat food as an afterthought, consuming whatever is convenient rather than what is nourishing. But here's something to consider. Food carries energy, just like everything else. Fresh, whole, and nutrient-dense foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and natural, unprocessed ingredients are alive with energy. They fuel your body in a way that aligns with your natural state of vitality. On the other hand, highly processed foods, artificial ingredients, excessive sugar, and chemical-laden junk food are low vibrational and deplete your body's natural energy reserves. These foods may give you a temporary sense of satisfaction, but over time, they leave you feeling sluggish, drained, and disconnected from your highest self. Ask yourself, Are you eating foods that nourish your body, or are you consuming things that leave you feeling heavy and lethargic? Because here's the truth. The more you fuel your body with high vibrational nutrition, the more aligned you become. Your mind becomes clearer, your intuition sharpens, and your physical energy strengthens, all of which contribute to maintaining a high frequency. Number 2, the thoughts you entertain. Your mind is a magnet. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will eventually grow into your reality. Every thought you entertain, whether positive or negative, carries a frequency. The question is, are you feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, or are you allowing negativity to take over? So many people unconsciously program their minds with self-doubt, fear, and limitation. They replay past mistakes, focus on what could go wrong, and tell themselves stories about why they're not good enough, not ready, or not capable. Over time, these thoughts shape their entire perception of life, creating a cycle of low vibrational energy that becomes difficult to break free from. But here's the good news. You have control over your thoughts. You are not obligated to believe everything your mind tells you. You have the power to redirect your focus, to reframe negativity, and to choose thoughts that align with your highest self. Ask yourself, do you wake up with a mindset of gratitude and possibility, or do you immediately focus on stress and problems? Your mind is a magnet. What you focus on, you attract. If you continuously allow yourself to dwell in negativity, you will lower your vibration and struggle to manifest the life you desire. But if you fill your mind with empowering thoughts, positive affirmations, and high-frequency beliefs, you will elevate yourself to a state of alignment and abundance. Number 3, how you spend your time. Purpose or distraction. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, yet many people waste it on things that do not serve them, mindlessly scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows that add no value, engaging in gossip or distracting themselves with activities that provide temporary satisfaction but no long-term fulfillment. Your energy follows your focus. If you spend most of your time on low vibrational activities, your energy will reflect that. But if you consciously choose to invest your time in things that uplift, inspire, and align with your purpose, you will naturally operate at a higher frequency. Ask yourself, are you spending your time on things that align with your purpose, or are you letting distractions consume you? The way you spend your time reflects what you value. If you truly want to maintain a high vibration, you must be intentional with your energy and ensure that your actions align with your higher self. Number 4, living in alignment with your truth. Nothing lowers your vibration faster than betraying your own truth. When you say one thing but do another, when you ignore your intuition, when you compromise your values for the sake of convenience, approval, or fear, you create an internal disconnect, and that disconnect is like a leak in your energy field. It may be subtle at first, but over time, it drains you in ways you may not even realize. Every time you ignore your inner guidance, every time you allow external influences to dictate your choices, and every time you sacrifice your authenticity to fit in or please others, you weaken your energetic alignment. The result? A feeling of unease, dissatisfaction, and a loss of connection to your higher self. But here's the empowering truth. You can always realign. You can always choose to return to your truth, to honor your intuition, and to live in a way that reflects who you truly are. Ask yourself, are you making decisions that reflect your true values and beliefs, or are you allowing outside forces to dictate your path? Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on anything that is not in alignment with your soul's purpose. If something doesn't feel right, it's a sign that it's lowering your vibration. Honor that feeling. Protect your energy. Live in alignment with your truth, and your vibration will naturally rise. But let's go even deeper, because it's not just external things that lower your vibration. It's the internal ones too. The unseen burdens you carry within you, the thoughts you replay, the emotions you refuse to release. These can be even more damaging than the people or environments around you. How often do we allow our past to define us? We replay old wounds in our minds, reliving painful experiences as if feeling them again will somehow change what has already happened. We hold on to resentment, unable to forgive, believing that keeping the pain alive will somehow serve justice. We carry guilt over things we cannot undo, shame over moments where we fell short, and fear that we are still not enough. And then, there are the stories we tell ourselves, the ones that keep us small. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve happiness. I'll never succeed. I'm too broken to heal. These thoughts become chains, silently anchoring you to a lower vibration. They are insidious because they operate beneath the surface, shaping your perception of yourself and the world around you. And the longer you hold on to them, the more power they gain over you. But here's the truth you need to remember. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. Every time you dwell on them, you are handing over your power, allowing them to dim your light and dictate your future. But you were never meant to live in limitation. You are more powerful than you realize. And the moment you choose to release fear, doubt, and the stories of lack, you begin to rise. You step into your true power. You reclaim your energy. And when you do, you vibrate at a frequency that attracts healing, abundance, and purpose. So now let me ask you again. What are you willing to let go of to protect your vibration? Are you ready to release toxic relationships that drain your energy and keep you stuck in cycles of negativity? Will you step away from negative content that fills your mind with fear, doubt, and comparison? Are you willing to break free from self-sabotaging habits that hold you back from stepping into your highest potential? And perhaps most importantly, are you ready to free yourself from fear and limiting beliefs? The silent forces that whisper you're not enough, that keep you playing small when you were meant to shine? Because the truth is, the cost of holding on to these things is far greater than the temporary discomfort of letting them go. Growth requires release. Transformation demands space. And when you finally decide to let go of what no longer serves you, when you create room for higher frequencies to enter your life, you will begin to experience a powerful shift. Your energy will feel lighter, your path will feel clearer, and your purpose will feel closer than ever before. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. Honor it. Guard it fiercely. Because the world needs your light now more than ever. You were not meant to dim your radiance to make others comfortable. You were not meant to live in fear, in lack, in self-doubt. You were meant to rise. And today, you have the power to choose that path. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What are you releasing today to protect your vibration? And if you're ready to step fully into your power, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another message to elevate your energy. Let's rise together. The world has awakened to your presence. Those who once dismissed you, the powerful, the envious, the doubters, now find themselves unable to look away. You, the chosen one, stand at the heart of a story they never wanted you to own. They whispered in secret, wove lies into the wind, and tried to turn shadows into your cage, believing their words could write your destiny. But they forgot one thing. You were never meant to be silenced. Their gossip did not destroy you, it crowned you. Every venom-laced word became gold. Every attempt to bury you became a stepping stone. While they were lost in the smallness of their schemes, you were building, creating, rising. They thought pressure would break you, but they miscalculated the truth. The chosen ones do not fall. They rise. And now, the world is watching. Not out of pity, but out of awe. They see you, unshaken, unstoppable, undeniable. This is just the beginning. If you know what it means to turn struggle into strength, to stand in your truth no matter the storm, then you are exactly where you belong. Subscribe, like, and share. Because this isn't just a story, it's a movement. And you? You were born to be a part of it. They never meant for you to be seen. They never expected you to rise. In their minds, you were supposed to stay in the shadows, silent, unnoticed, insignificant. But destiny had other plans. They tried to bury your name beneath lies, hoping the weight of their falsehoods would crush you. Yet all they did was amplify your voice. The more they spoke, the more people began to see. Not just hear the rumors, but truly see who you are. And what they saw was something undeniable, a force too powerful to break, too real to ignore. You never needed deception, slander, or manipulation to make your mark. Those were their weapons, not yours. While they fought in the mud, you stood firm. You didn't sink to their level, you rose above it. That was your greatest strength. Not just your resilience, but the way you carried yourself through the storm. People started to notice the contrast. Your grace against their chaos, your calm against their desperation. The louder they became, the more the world paid attention. Not to their words, but to your actions. And in that moment, the truth became impossible to deny. The more they tried to tarnish your name, the brighter you shined. What they failed to realize was simple. You don't fight battles you've already won. You didn't need to yell over their noise. You didn't need to defend yourself against their lies. Your silence was louder than their accusations. Your presence more powerful than their schemes. You let your actions speak, and in doing so, you turned their entire game against them. And so, the world took note. Not of their rumors, but of your strength. Not of their chaos, but of your composure. They watched, captivated as you refused to fall. And in that moment, you became unstoppable. They underestimated you. They mistook your silence for weakness, your patience for surrender. They thought their whispers could break you, that their carefully crafted schemes, wrapped in deception and delivered with precision, would make you stumble. But they were wrong, because you were never just anyone. You were chosen, and the chosen are not destroyed by storms. They rise above them. They use the winds meant to tear them down to lift them higher. With every attack, you became stronger. Every attempt to pull you down only pushed you further ahead. They thought they were setting a trap, but all they did was lay the foundation for your ascent. And then, before they even realized what had happened, the tables turned. The world stopped listening to them and started watching you. At first, they watched out of curiosity. How could someone face so much opposition and remain unshaken? How could you stand tall while others unraveled? How could their drama, designed to drown you, somehow become your fuel? And then, something incredible happened. They weren't just watching anymore. They were listening. Because in a world drowning in noise, truth does not need to shout. It radiates. It moves without force, without deception, without manipulation. And in you, they saw something rare, a soul that refused to compromise its light. While they waged petty wars, you built an empire, not of power, not of control, but of wisdom, strength, and truth. And that is something no enemy can ever destroy. They tried to turn people against you. They whispered in secret, planting seeds of doubt, hoping their words would take root and turn admiration into suspicion. They twisted truths, exaggerated flaws, and wove their narratives so carefully that they believed they had control over the story. But they miscalculated. Badly. Because instead of pushing people away from you, they drew them closer. What they meant as a weapon became your spotlight. What they thought would bury you only elevated you. They assumed their influence was power, but true power does not belong to those who manipulate. It belongs to those who stand in truth, and the truth about you was undeniable. At first, people listened to the rumors, but then they saw you. They watched the way you carried yourself, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with a quiet, unshakable strength. And in that contrast, something remarkable happened. They realized the difference. They saw the calm in your presence versus the chaos in their accusations. They noticed the dignity in your silence against the desperation in their words. While they screamed for attention, you commanded it, not by force, but by simply being who you are. And suddenly, their words lost power. Your presence became a refuge in a world full of noise. People were drawn to you, not because you sought attention, but because your light was impossible to ignore. It was something real, something unshaken, something that couldn't be fabricated or faked. They sensed it before they even understood it. A force so strong it silenced the lies before they could take root. And in that moment, something greater than growth happened. This was not just a rise, this was an awakening. What they didn't understand, what they could never grasp, was that your destiny was never in their hands. No matter how much they schemed, how carefully they plotted, or how loudly they whispered, they were never the authors of your story. Because long before they ever spoke your name, it was already written. They believed they were orchestrating your downfall. They worked in shadows, pulling strings, convinced that their efforts would be enough to make you stumble. But what they failed to see was that they were never in control. They weren't writing the final chapter of your story. They were merely playing into a higher plan, one that had already secured your victory. They whispered about your failures, hoping the world would turn against you. But every attempt to close a door in your face only led to greater opportunities. Every obstacle they placed in your path became a stepping stone. While they were busy weaving deception, fate was aligning everything in your favor. One by one, their alliances crumbled. The people they relied on began to see through their games. Lies have a short lifespan, but truth endures, and the truth always finds a way to rise. And so, their carefully laid plans began to unravel. They thought their efforts to bring you down would break you. Instead, those very efforts became the force that lifted you higher. What they meant for harm, the universe turned into a blessing. What they built as a trap became your stage. Because when someone is chosen, the universe doesn't just support them, it protects them. Every falsehood spoken against you was met with divine justice. Every betrayal only led you to something greater. And then, the world began to notice. At first, they thought it was a coincidence. But then, they saw the pattern, the way things always worked in your favor, the way your enemies always seemed to fall into the traps they set for you. And suddenly, everything changed. Because your success was no longer just about hard work or perseverance. It became proof that the divine does not make mistakes. Proof that you were never just surviving, you were thriving. And in that moment, the whispers faded into irrelevance. The people who once questioned you began to admire you. The very ones who once doubted your strength now looked to you as a symbol of resilience. And that realization, it changed everything. At first it was subtle, just a shift, a quiet ripple barely noticeable in the grand scheme of things. But the truth has a way of making itself known, and what began as a ripple soon became a wave. People who once believed the lies started to see through them. They realized the difference between fabrication and authenticity, between empty accusations and undeniable truth. What once seemed uncertain became clear. You had never needed to defend yourself. The truth had been on your side all along. And then the ones who had stood against you. They began to disappear. One by one, their voices lost power. Their influence crumbled under the weight of their own deception. The louder they had shouted, the weaker they now seemed. Because lies are fragile things. They may spread quickly, but they always collapse under their own weight. While they had spent their time plotting, you had been building. While they had wasted energy trying to pull you down, you had been rising. And when the dust finally settled, there was no contest. You stood tall, while they faded into irrelevance. Because you didn't just survive, you changed the entire game. You were never meant to fit into their mold. You were never meant to follow their rules, walk their well-worn paths, or seek their approval. From the beginning, you were different, set apart, destined for more. Because the chosen ones don't follow paths, they create them. While others sought comfort in the familiar, you embraced the unknown. While they moved in groups, relying on the noise of the crowd, you walked alone. Not because you had to, but because you were meant to. You fought silent battles they never saw, endured storms that were meant to break you, but instead of breaking, you transformed. The pressure they placed upon you didn't crush you. It refined you, shaping you into something stronger, wiser, unstoppable. And now, the world watches. Not out of pity, not because they feel sorry for what you've endured, but because they are in awe. Because you didn't just rise, you ascended. Your trials weren't meant to destroy you. They were never punishments, never signs of failure. They were preparations. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of doubt was a step toward something greater. And now, as you step fully into your destiny, you realize something profound. This was never about proving them wrong. It was never about seeking revenge, about making them see their mistakes, or about forcing them to acknowledge your worth. This was always about proving yourself right, because deep down, you always knew. You knew you were meant for more. You knew you were different. You knew that no amount of lies, betrayal, or resistance could change what had already been written for you. And now? Now you walk forward, not for them, but for you. They thought they were writing your ending, that their whispers, betrayals, and schemes would be the final chapter of your story. But what they didn't realize was that they were never the authors of your fate. Their attempts to break you didn't signal your downfall. They became the very foundation of your rise. Because the chosen ones don't just survive the storm, they become it. Every setback became your momentum. Every moment of doubt became proof of your resilience. Their chaos didn't destroy you, it fueled you. Their doubt didn't weaken you, it became your power. And now, the world isn't just watching, it's waiting. Waiting to see what comes next. Waiting for the next chapter of your story. But here's the best part. You get to write it. No one else. Not them. Not the ones who doubted you. Only you. So as you step forward, stronger than ever, remember this. Your journey is far from over. It's just beginning. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel the fire of purpose burning within you, then join this movement. Subscribe, like, and share. Because together, we're not just telling a story, we're rewriting the rules. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in your own strength. Your time is now. Have you ever paused to wonder why cats seem so drawn to certain people? Why they choose their companions with an almost supernatural precision? It's as if they see beyond the physical world, sensing something hidden from ordinary human perception. Could it be that they recognize a deeper energy, a vibration that aligns with their own mystical nature? More than just pets, cats are spiritual guardians, silent watchers of the unseen, and protectors of those walking a divine path. If you've ever felt an inexplicable connection with these mysterious creatures, it may not be mere coincidence. It may be a sign of your elevated spiritual energy. In this video, we will uncover the incredible role cats play in the lives of those with a special purpose. We'll explore why they are drawn to individuals with heightened vibrations, how they balance and protect energy, and why their presence in your life is far more significant than you may realize. Have you ever had an unforgettable experience with a cat, one that felt more like fate than chance? Share your story in the comments below. And if you resonate with this message, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on the spiritual mysteries that shape our lives. Turn on notifications, leave a like, and let's unravel this fascinating mystery together. Cats possess an extraordinary sensitivity to the world around them. Have you ever noticed how they seem to predict events before any visible signs appear? This is not simply a heightened awareness. It's an innate connection to energies that exist beyond human understanding. Unlike other animals, cats don't just react to physical stimuli. They detect shifts in the unseen realms, sensing vibrations in the environment and within individuals. When you feel anxious, sad, or uncertain, your cat knows. They pick up on the energy you emit, responding not just with affection, but with a deep, knowing presence. Now, imagine how much more profound their awareness becomes when they encounter someone with a unique spiritual light, someone who carries the energy of a chosen one. To cats, your aura is like a beacon in the darkness, an unmistakable frequency that stands out among the rest. They do not choose their human companions randomly. Instead, they gravitate toward those who vibrate at higher frequencies, those whose energy aligns with their own. And once they choose you, they become your guardian, balancing and harmonizing the energies within you and around you. Have you ever noticed a cat rubbing against you when you're feeling unwell or emotionally drained? Or perhaps you've seen them curl up exactly where you experience discomfort, whether it's a headache, stomach pain, or an overwhelming sense of fatigue? This behavior is far more than simple affection. It is a profound act of energetic healing. Cats have an extraordinary ability to detect subtle shifts in energy. When they rub against you, they are not merely seeking attention or marking their territory, they are engaging in a process of energy transfer. By doing so, they absorb negativity, neutralize stagnant vibrations, and help realign your energetic field, restoring balance to your body and spirit. This innate ability makes them natural healers, silently working to stabilize your well-being. Beyond their interactions with people, cats also play a significant role in harmonizing the energy of a space. Have you ever noticed your cat frequently resting in a specific corner of a room, on a piece of furniture, or near an object with deep sentimental or spiritual value? These choices are not random. Cats are naturally drawn to areas where energy is either highly concentrated or in need of purification. They instinctively gravitate toward these spaces, absorbing excess energy, dispelling negativity, and ensuring that the environment remains balanced. For those who possess heightened spiritual sensitivity, this connection is even more profound. Cats act as silent sentinels, watching over your energy, shielding you from unseen forces, and providing an anchor to keep you grounded. Their presence is a subtle yet powerful reminder that you are never alone in your spiritual journey. Your feline guardian is always by your side, working in ways beyond human comprehension to protect and nurture your energy. Have you ever locked eyes with a cat and felt as though they were looking deep into your soul? Unlike other animals, cats don't just observe, they see. Their gaze is piercing, almost otherworldly, as if they are perceiving something beyond your physical form, something hidden within the layers of your energy and essence. It is in these moments that you may realize a truth long overlooked. Cats recognize the unseen. Unlike dogs who eagerly express affection toward nearly everyone, cats are selective in forming deep connections. They do not bond with just anyone. Rather, they reserve their trust and companionship for those who align with their own unique frequency. Their nature is discerning, and their attachment is never random. Instead, it is guided by something beyond the physical, a resonance, a recognition of spiritual kinship. This is why so many spiritually awakened individuals find themselves drawn to cats, and why cats, in turn, are mysteriously drawn to them. It is a silent acknowledgement, a deep unspoken understanding that goes beyond words. The energy of a chosen one stands out, shining like a beacon in the unseen realms. And cats, with their heightened perception, gravitate toward it naturally. When a cat chooses you, it is not just a casual bond. It is an alignment of souls. They do more than offer companionship. They attune themselves to your vibration, mirroring your energy, adjusting their own frequency to match yours. This creates a profound spiritual bond, a mutual exchange that strengthens both of you. Over time, this connection deepens, allowing the cat to act as both a guide and a guardian, subtly enhancing your journey and helping you navigate the mysteries of the unseen world. Have you ever noticed that during life's most difficult or transformative moments, your cat becomes unusually present? Whether you're going through emotional turmoil, experiencing stress, or navigating a major transition, your feline companion seems to sense it. Without any words, without being asked, they stay close, watching over you with quiet attentiveness. It's as if they instinctively know when you need them most, offering their presence as a silent but powerful form of support. This is because cats act as natural energy filters, constantly sensing and interacting with the unseen vibrations around them. As a chosen one, your heightened spiritual energy attracts both light and darkness, positive forces that guide you and challenges that test you. Your aura radiates brightly, but with that brilliance comes an increased sensitivity to external energies, some uplifting, others draining. Cats serve as guardians of energy, silently absorbing, neutralizing, and balancing the energetic field surrounding you. If you've ever noticed your cat following you more than usual, positioning itself near you during meditation, or curling up beside you when you feel exhausted, understand that this is no coincidence. They are actively working to stabilize your energy, shielding you from disruptions that could throw you off your path. It's also common to see cats staring into seemingly empty spaces or tracking something invisible with their eyes. This isn't random behavior. It's their ability to perceive the spiritual realm just as clearly as the physical one. They detect presences, entities, and energy shifts beyond human comprehension. Often, they act as barriers between you and unseen influences, ensuring that nothing interferes with your spiritual journey. With a cat by your side, you are never alone. They are your silent sentinels, always watching, always protecting. Cats do not just protect you, they protect the entire space you inhabit. Their presence in your home is more than companionship. It is a form of energetic guardianship, a silent but powerful force that maintains balance and harmony. Have you ever noticed how the atmosphere in your home feels lighter and more peaceful when a cat is present? It's as if their very existence transforms the energy of a space, turning an ordinary house into a sanctuary of peace and protection. Unlike other animals, cats are highly sensitive to spiritual frequencies, and they instinctively work to keep their environment energetically clean. One of the most fascinating aspects of a cat's behavior is how they select specific spots in the home, places they return to repeatedly, often without any apparent reason. To the untrained eye, it may seem like they are simply choosing comfortable places to rest, but in reality, these locations are often energetic hotspots, areas where energy accumulates, flows, or even stagnates. By lying in these spots, cats act as filters, absorbing, transmuting, and redistributing energy to maintain balance. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly relocate from one sleeping spot to another? Or perhaps they seem to prefer resting near a doorway, in a quiet corner, or even next to objects that hold sentimental or spiritual significance? These choices are never random. Cats sense energy shifts and instinctively position themselves where their presence is needed most. Beyond their ability to harmonize a space, cats possess another incredible gift of healing: their purring. This sound, often associated with contentment, is much more than a simple expression of comfort. It is a healing frequency, a vibration that soothes not only their own bodies, but also those of the people around them. Scientific studies have even shown that a cat's purr operates at frequencies between 25 and 150 Hz, which are known to promote healing, reduce stress, and even aid in physical recovery. When a cat purrs near you, it's not just an affectionate gesture, it's an energetic transmission, a way of raising your vibration and helping you restore your own inner balance. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or physically drained, a purring cat can act as a natural form of energy healing, grounding you, calming your nervous system, and offering silent reassurance that everything is as it should be. In essence, cats do more than simply share your space. They elevate and protect it. Their presence creates a shield of harmony, ensuring that your home remains a place of refuge, healing, and spiritual alignment. Whether they are lying in a strategic location, purring beside you, or simply watching over the energy that flows through your home, these mystical felines are guardians of unseen forces, ever present, ever protective, and deeply connected to the energy of those they choose to share their lives with. There is something almost otherworldly about the way cats move through life. They glide effortlessly through the world, exuding a quiet wisdom, as if they are in constant connection with something beyond what our eyes can see. Their presence feels ancient, their gaze filled with knowing, their behaviors often seeming to hint at truths beyond the tangible. They are not merely animals, they are messengers of the unseen, subtle guides who help us align with our higher purpose. Those who walk a spiritual path often feel a profound connection with cats, sensing that these creatures are far more aware of the invisible realms than we are. It is no coincidence that throughout history, in cultures across the world, cats have been revered as symbols of mystery, protection, and divine insight. Many spiritually awakened individuals have noticed peculiar behaviors in their cats, especially during moments of deep introspection. Have you ever been meditating, lost in thought, or experiencing a moment of heightened awareness, only to look up and see your cat staring at you with piercing intensity? Have they ever led you to a particular place in your home, drawn your attention to an object, or reacted strongly, either with affection or avoidance, toward certain people? These actions are not random. Cats communicate in ways that go beyond words. Their silent gestures, their unwavering gazes, their sudden interest in a specific area of your home. These are all signs, messages waiting to be interpreted. It is as if they are guiding you toward something hidden, a truth you have yet to uncover. By observing them closely, we learn invaluable lessons: patience, presence, and balance. Cats do not rush through life. They move with deliberate grace, trusting their instincts completely. They remind us to embrace the natural flow of existence, to surrender control, and to let life unfold in its own time. In moments of chaos, they remain calm and composed, teaching us by example how to stay centered amid the storms of life. Perhaps one of their greatest lessons is the importance of trusting intuition. A cat never second-guesses its instincts. It simply acts, moving in perfect alignment with what feels right. They encourage us to do the same, to listen to the quiet voice within, to follow the subtle nudges from the universe, and to navigate our journey with confidence and grace. For those who are open to their wisdom, cats become more than companions. They become spiritual allies, ever watchful, ever guiding, silently leading us toward deeper awareness and understanding. They are not just present in our lives by chance. They are here with purpose, offering protection, insight, and a reminder that the unseen world is always within reach. If you have a cat in your life, know that their presence is not by chance. They are here for a reason, to protect you, guide you, and ensure you remain strong on your spiritual journey. They do not merely live with you. They align with you, helping to transform your elevated energy into actions that matter. Cherish their presence, honor the lessons they teach, and above all, trust that your connection with them is part of something far greater than you can yet understand. If you've had a profound experience with a cat, share it in the comments below. Let's celebrate the wisdom, protection, and magic they bring into our lives. And if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on the spiritual mysteries of the universe. Until our next journey, Chosen One, protect your light and honor your guides.